I got a very slow thumbs up from our man Scrivo, which means we're back to being live here at the Capital City Bloodbath in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. We've got a massive event for your viewing pleasure here, folks. 119 players, which means that if things go well, we'll have as many people watching as we have playing. So we're going to do a quick little recap here of the second round as we cut off before it was all said and done. And we got a few shockers here for you. To close it off with Jim Vessel and Kieran. Turns out JV clinches at 31-21. He was a little sheepish about me revealing the fact that he forgot his blood letters in reserve. But he did, and he's the #1 ITC player for a reason, and he was able to win anyway. Kieran, his opponent, a little upset we didn't let them on stream, but we all maybe suspect we might see Jimbo a little bit later in the broadcast. Moving on down the line, Eric Scrivens running Custodes. That'd be Custodes without any Caladius grav tanks. That's correct. Mono-faction Custodes with no Caladius grav tanks. The Falcon will fill you on whatever else you might bring. However, he wound up 26-19, defeating Tzeentch with the Emperor's Light. It was quite beautiful. But this is the one that I really want to tell you guys about because, you know, you're not supposed to have a horse in the race, but let's not joke here. I got a horse in the race. His name's Steven. Treat him mean, keep him keen, pamperine. I've always been a big supporter. He's an orc war boss par excellence, and he usually gets screwed real hard by the clock. Well, I'll tell you something, guys. This time the table has turned. Coming into the fourth round, old Pamps had about 6 minutes left on his clock. His opponent had 1. I think I left you off in the shooting phase of the Tau. Pamperine turned around, reminded his opponent that he could no longer do anything because his 1 minute ran up, obviously. Proceeded to do round 4, round 5 in 30 seconds each. Went on a 15-1 primary run. Maxed out his secondaries. Pamperine, when we left off, was trailing 8-4 on secondaries and a whole lot to a whole little on primary. He pulls it out and winds up winning. I don't know. I didn't actually write it down. So he won by some margin at any rate. So looking behind us, 32. I'm being told. Hold on. I'm being told it was 32-25. Just so you guys know, we're actually wired together on the headsets. They could just say that to me quietly. Instead, they yelled it at me, and that's how really serious we are. Okay, so what's going on this round, you might ask, Heffelfinger? We've got Dan, the Danimal Platt, formerly the most famous player in Canada, defending his last 2 belts here. Not consecutive. He took a year off to find himself and lose some weight. Dan is playing Ridvan, Scary Martinez. That's correct. Scary is up against Dan. They've played each other a ton. This is going to be a real familiar game against one another. Jim Vessel drew Sparksy, Jason Sparks, again running an Imperium list with those fancy new repulsors with the big guns on them. And I don't know how that matchup is, but I'm bad at 40k, so who knows? Maybe he can pull it out against JV. Josh Death drew Isaac Bates, and by Bates, I mean Bates. He's running like a Venom spam list, got a bunch of witches, a lot of MSU going on there. The Falcon did make me aware that he's maybe a player to watch in the field before this whole thing started. He's playing Drakari, and look at that, he's on the 3rd table. So Falcon knows what he's talking about, and this guy knows what he's doing. Male Belcourt pulled it out against Zach Camo. That was the guy who went big in first round and then got blown up bad in the second. He's playing Stephen Pamperine. So Pamperine's playing Eldari Harlequin's list. We'll see how that goes. Eric Marco's playing Jean Malson. Perhaps our first game being played today in both official languages of Canada. Probably mixed together in the same sentences. That's how the Quebecois do. Not sure if Jean is, in fact, a Jean. He might be a Jean. Who knows? And then just wanted to let you all know, Caleb Edwards, star of the first stream game today, He drew Jeff Pandereta, something like that. So this is it's two players from our first 2 stream games, head-to-head right now. Caleb's actually 3-0. Must have been a low, sorry, 2-0. Must have been a low 2-0. Wait a minute, did Jeff win? Oh, Jeff won. Look at that. Well, I'm going to have to get the heck out of here because I'm discrediting myself by the minute. As you can tell, things are tightening up here just like Rob's butt. It's the 3rd round of the Capital City Bloodbath. Over to that booth. You are beautiful boys.
Hello, welcome to what is going to be a blistering game of Warhammer 40,000. But before we get on to anything blistering, sort of talk about the blistering display put forward there by Mr. Val Heffelfinger.
Oh, I mean, the man is definitely a force to be reckoned with for the first 5 minutes he talks. And then after that, he loses steam. He becomes a blathering idiot, but I still love him.
You can only remember so much script. Actually, on the tabletop, we just saw the handshake for the start of the game.
Oh, good. I thought it was the end. I thought this was really...
Oh, yeah, they've called it. No. Hello, my name is Rob, and I'm joined by the Falcon.
Caca!
There he is. We're going to bring your live coverage commentators over this game. Now, as you can see already on this Necron homeworld, Jon with his Imperium is playing against Dom with his Imperium, and in no way will that be difficult for you to keep track of.
No, none whatsoever. But I mean, that's the game we play these days. We decided to bring you a fun matchup for our 3rd round. Like we said earlier, round 1, we mentioned day 1 was going to be a lot of fun games, a lot of lists that you're not going to see over and over and over again, with players that have a good sense of the game and just want to have a good time. So here we have Jon, who is running 3 knights, but not your normal 3 knights, of course. He does have a couple crusaders in there. He's got a gallant.
He's got a gallant.
He's living a dream that not too many people get to live.
Can I, Jon, can you give me my camera, please? We need to talk about the net before you even say the next bit.
I apologize.
I want to get right in there because they're gorgeous.
Yeah, we need to talk about Dom's army.
Yeah, he's chosen a very interesting choice. Jon. Our Jon will at some point bring us our camera. So there you go, on the screen. What are they?
What are they?
What are they?
Oh, yes. So, yeah, Scrivo's having a good time over here. So, yeah, Jon decided to bring Grey Knights.
Grey Knights, specifically 2 named characters.
Exactly.
Yeah, Voldus and...
the Grand Master Voldus and, yes, Lord... Caldor Drago.
Exactly, there we go. And then just another 3rd fella.
Just a brother captain hanging out, just living his life.
Hank is what I've decided he is called.
Hank, the brother captain.
Hank. Yeah, okay, apparently that's okay. That's acceptable.
John's okay with it. I mean, he hadn't named him himself yet, so...
But they look incredible. This whole army looks great. And in fact, both armies look fantastic.
These are, I think, somehow 2 of the best painted armies in this hall ended up playing each other at table 1, and I cannot complain.
And at all. And because I've got, obviously, Imperium versus Imperium. That kind of makes narrative sense to a degree because
they
battle
happens.
it out.
Things get weird.
But there are Blood Angels on the other side. We'll go through those lists in a minute.
Yeah.
In my mind, the Grey Knights are here, and they're saying, look, Blood Angels, definitely there's something wrong with your gene seed.
Yeah, you're definitely vampires.
You're infected in some sort of way, that's a fact.
Something weird's happened
You're
there.
heretics, so we're going to go and stomp you.
And then the Death Watch have showed up on Dom's side here, and they're just like, well, guys, like, I know we kind of fight more or less for the same side of things, but, please don't kill our Blood Angel buddies. They're our buds. They're our pals.
Yeah, they're our buds. We promise
they're
not Xenos or in any way infected by the war.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Yeah, I like the narrative that you're trying to forge here.
Thank you very
much.
It's important in forging a narrative. Very important. In fact, actually, are we going to talk about Dom's list?
Yeah, can we get a close-up on something from Dom's list? Because I don't think you guys
No problem. I can do it. Jon, give me the
understand.
camera. I've already prepped it. What do you want to get a close-up on?
So this list has won multiple awards, by the way, guys, for paint and hobby. It's absolutely beautiful. He's got a gorgeous display.
What would you like me to
Best
zoom in
overall
on?
at Adepticon. Anything. Like literally any model on this side of the table.
No problem. Do you want to see a really gorgeous Smash Captain? Because there's one
take a
right here.
look. Beep, boop,
Oh, he's
beep,
moved.
boop. He moved him.
He's moved. Okay, no problem. I'll go take you to see some gorgeous tanks. Look at those guys. Oh,
those don't look like tanks, but it's still a beautiful veteran squad from the Death Watch.
They were there.
Anyway, let's...
what about this captain? Don't worry, I've got another one. I've got Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, there's somebody still standing. No, anyway, guys, Dom's list, absolutely gorgeous. He's running your kind of standard Blood Angel Smash Captains with some scouts, and then he's got a Death Watch battalion with a Watchmaster, Librarian, and 3 squads of veterans.
The problem is Dom has hidden all of his army behind walls.
Well, because he's very scared of those Crest Crusaders making them mulch.
That's fair.
His back line, in case you guys didn't realize, those are actual Lehman Russ Conqueror tanks, not the not standard Lehman Russes or the tank commanders you're expecting to see. There are actually 2 lists here that brought Conquerors. It's a very interesting unit pick. They're essentially battle cannon tanks. The battle cannons do D6 damage a swap, and they have coaxial as a rule, where if there are little storm bolters up top fire at a unit, the battle cannons can reroll to hit, which is a big deal for Astra Militarum.
A very big deal. Normally hitting on 4s, and so that's
getting the full rerolls is huge.
Very, very big. So yes, you've got knights effectively with the Grey Knights. That works. That's quite nice.
Knights and knights with a little bit of guard hanging out.
With some Astra Militarum hanging out, and then you have Blood Angels with some Astra Militarum as well, and then Death Watch.
Yeah.
So it's just it's an interesting mix-up on the tabletop there. We'll get the secondaries to you in a moment when. Oh, apparently we already have them sorted. And we're seeing Dom on the right has already started his turn.
Yeah, so it looks like the Knight player did just move up, and no, sorry, Dom is going first. This is the deployment. They're doing triangles.
Oh, so they're still deploying.
They're just finishing up their deployment, about to start the Dom's turn. So Dom did get first turn, and he's moving up to try and get within range, try and pick off some of these guys up front with his super fantastic Stormbolter Deathwatch veterans. We'll see how this all plays out. He is trying to play a little cagey because those knights can put out a ton of hurt.
And the counter to his knights are going to be, look at that, one of those absolutely stunning tanks.
Yes, gorgeous looking, and that's really what he wants. He's got Dom's got really 2 plans here. He needs to get his Blood Angel Smash Captains up close and personal, which he has already started. He did Forlorn Fury, if we get up top table view here.
Yep.
So Forlorn Fury, for those of you who don't know, nice little 2 CP stratagem. It lets one of your Blood Angels characters that has the Death Company keyword, or a Death Company unit in general, to get a free move before the game begins. And so that's exactly what he did. We're doing a triangle deployment, folks. So
as you can see on the map on the left-hand side.
And he played pretty aggressive. He hit his guy right here, moved him to 12 inches. So he's already right in front
right there
of those knights.
Right there.
So that guy is going to lay some smack, hopefully. Because as a Blood Angels player myself, I've definitely had a number of times where I've charged a character into a knight and absolutely nothing.
How do you
has
feel
happened.
about the gene seed that you love being infected by demon wings?
Well, you know, I'm not going to lie. I don't necessarily love them, but there's a small part of my heart that wishes that they followed the Codex Astartes, since the new Space Marine Codex is so amazing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But let's talk about Smash Captains. I'm going to zoom in on that Smash Captain. The Smash Captains, if you don't know what they are, they're normally Blood Angels captains. However, in the narrative, they're not as common as they are in the game.
Oh, for sure. There's really only supposed to be 10, but somehow
there are hundreds.
The Blood Angels decided we were going to over-recruit the captain. They're like, you know what? Everyone's promoted. Can you put on a jump pack? Here's a hammer. We had extras. We went to the Home Depot. We went to the Target. We just bought them all out.
We got all of them.
Yeah.
No, we got the Canadian Tire is
Canadian Tire.
We went to Canadian Tire.
Lots of Thunder Hammers. Lots of Thunder Hammers.
Lots of Thunder Hammers. And his target. So what they're designed to do effectively is take an Imperial Knight or a Chaos Knight or a vehicle or a monster and just smash them
to bits.
To all of the pieces. And he's already there, ready to rock.
He is, and he's picked the right targets here. So if we look, the great thing about the Imperial Knight Codex is that you can essentially have up to 3 knights with warlord traits and or relics. And the one guy that he does not want to hit the Smash Captain into is the Red Knight, which is, I believe, at the bottom.
It is rocking the American flag kind of
iconography.
there.
So this guy here has a 2+ armor save. It's a little bit harder to get through with the Smash Captain on that guy. That's the one where if he hits that one, he's just going to get thunder stomped to death. It's going to be a poor decision on his part. So kudos to him for making the right choice, coming in here where he's going up against 2 knights that are designed specifically to do a ton of damage. to his little favorite puppies back here, these tanks, because
I think going for the Crusader is absolutely the right choice.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. So as far as I understand, the Green Knight has the 4++ against shooting, so he's going to be much harder to take down by those tanks that he wants. And the other one here, I believe it's this one, and we'll find out for sure if we're 100% correct, has the Headsman's Mark, which gives him +1 damage against vehicles.
So just taking out those early doors is going to be very, very, very good. And all for the low, low price of one captain. Most of your CP.
Yes.
But the low, low price of a captain, which is so big. And also the Gallant's going to be able to be held up by these lines here. So he's not going to get in, which means you're going to get the battle cannons, so not the battle cannons, but those tanks shooting over the top to knock them out.
Exactly, yeah.
So they're going to do the work, and you know, it's a strong first move.
It is. It's definitely a power move. This is him definitely just whipping it out and saying, "This is what my plan is. Deal with it." Now, if he flubs, if it doesn't work out for him, that captain is super dead. Like, there's no... he's not even a little dead. He's super dead. I mean, he does have a 3-up invuln, guys. I'm not going to lie, but he's going to be stomped to absolute
But that's the
crap.
narrative, right? Like, they envision their own death, or they see Sanguinius, they go mad. They see the death of Sanguinius,
and he's
they go
100% mad at this point.
He is mad at this point. He personally blamed that knight chassis for the death.
Well, he thinks that knight is Horus, 100%.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, guys. Once you go into that Black Rage, all you see is the death of Sanguinius or something else terrible that happened during the Horus era.
Knights look a lot like Horus anyway, right?
Yeah, they're
so
basically
boring.
the same. Oh, I like it. I'm okay with it.
I'm glad you are.
Horus was a very boring character to me. So much.
I mean,
hubris.
his motivation made little to no sense.
It's true.
Okay.
It's true. He went on it, but he went on a spiritual journey. It didn't work out the way anybody else has ever gone. I mean, as someone who listens to Moon Shaman music, you should understand, right?
I love Moon Shaman music.
So that's
I'll have
what
you know, it helps me sleep at night. Which
Val
is very
Heffelfinger helps me sleep at night.
Yeah, he's great. Look how gorgeous these two armies are. Look at that knight.
Man, look at America right there.
Right there, just ready to... I'm not going to... Yeah, let's go. This is the future. Hello, everyone in the Twitch chat, by the way. I haven't even said hello to you guys. Thank you for being here. There's another great night. And couldn't I just talk about these infantry? Have you seen how good they are? Have you seen how pretty they are? I'm going to show you. Not America. That's green. I think that's Greenland, which America's going to buy. So.
Yeah, apparently America is going to buy Greenland, so we do have Greenland. Apparently we did make one slight mistake here on reading the knight, what the knights have. The yellow and red one, the one that the captain is in front of, does in fact have the 2+ armor, so he is going for broke. But that is because it's also his main warlord.
Can we just point out markings on shoulder pads?
Oh my lord!
We are so serious. This is a truly beautiful army.
Yeah, everything is very well done. Both of these armies, like we said, I don't think we could say it enough. We'll probably say it so much that you're going to get very annoyed with us.
Yeah, you're going to be bored of it, but
it's
like
such
whatever.
A gorgeous
and also, like realistically, if we're talking from a tactical perspective, this is the game. Kill the knights with the tanks and hold up the knights. End of game. It's you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it.
Yep.
And the question is what do you think? Twitch chat and the Falcon. Do you reckon he's going to do it or not do it? Oh,
it's hard. Like knights really can do a good job of stomping around. It's going to be dependent, I think, a lot on just how aggressive Jon gets with that Crest Crusader. If he tries to sit him back and shoot, that's a losing game for him, I think. He's going to have to get up there and start stomping.
I think the Crusader's going to have to go forward as much as everything else.
He's going to need to get in. He's going to need to shoot and stop because he needs to clear out those that Deathwatch chaff that's kind of holding the middle line here. All these little Deathwatch boys. They're not easy to kill in shooting because of those 3-up invuln saves, but once the stomps start happening, they start falling like flies, and I think that's going to be a thing he's going to have to consider. A lot of it here, if that Smash Captain goes ham, gets those 8 attacks on the charge, if he pops all the CP, fights twice, I mean, he can do so much work for so little points.
Yes, you're just having to spend the CP. Oh, and he's in. He's in. Let's get in. Let's go zoom in on that absolute gangster. This guy... And it's not this guy specifically, but him and his battle brothers have been... The reason there are also, FYI, so many Smash Captains is because categorically they always die.
Yes.
They
100%.
They run forward for an incredibly cheap cost. And am I right in thinking he's charged both of these two knights, or has he charged 2 captains in?
I charged 2 captains in, so he used the... I believe why can't I think of the name of the stratagem again? The one for Blood Angels where you can pick up a model and then redeploy it. So that's what he did. So Wings of Sanguinius.
Thank you.
drops him down, spends the CP so he has 3d6 on the charge, smacks into that knight. So now he's got 2 Smash Captains in there going ham. It's going to be interesting.
So I think a question that Bizarre 40k Beast has asked, why would he touch both? So you can't elect to not fight in 40k.
No, that's true.
So effectively what I am assuming he's going to do is he's going to fight, he's either going to fight here, I don't know about the ordering, but effectively what he wants is for this Crusader to stomp on this Smash Captain, potentially kill him, then use the CP to strike back.
Yeah, so from what
he can't not do.
So from what I understand, he came in. When he charged, what they're asking is why did he charge both? Yeah. And I think it's a valid point. He probably, when he did his charge, should have gone over this way.
Yeah.
By coming in here, he allowed this knight to heroically intervene, I'm told. So he actually...
Oh, okay.
Oh, so I'm being told he charged both to not be heroically intervened, but I just don't know why you don't just come up here so that it's not even an issue. So now what we're looking at is he's got these 2 guys fighting into here. He can spend 3 CP to kill this one if this guy lives. I'm not sure if that's the right choice because this guy has this 2-up armor save. And we've already seen it. The knight passed 5 of his first 7 saves on that first round of combat.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty big.
That's huge. And what was he saving on? Was he saving on a 5 or a 6? On a 5. So that's massive because what's nice about the Smash Captains in this particular situation and in all situations they're using it, it's a huge CP cost, and as you can see, Dom's already down to just 3 CP.
Yes.
But points-wise, it's not a particularly large investiture to potentially get a big return.
Exactly.
And reducing both the Gallant and Crusader. And there's one Smash Captain dead. Someone get a Gene Seed Capturer because another Smash Captain needs to be made.
Yep.
They are running out of captains in the Blood Angels.
And that's exactly what's happened here. And that's what I said would probably happen if we go into this night. I mean, I understand he is the Warlord, but with the 5-up, it worked out in his advantage. And it is, thank you for correcting, it is upon Wings of Fire. That's what I was trying to say earlier, but it wouldn't come out. Wings of Sanguinius is, I believe, the psychic ability that librarians can cast on themselves to make them do stupid things, like move in extra time.
Yes, because they've got a pre-game move, they've got an extra move, they've got a charge on 3d6, they've got an ignore
Blood Angels
over
can be extraordinarily aggressive when they want to be, and I think it didn't work out for him here.
And also a +1 attack on the charge. Like we all know the new Space Marine Codex is out. Does that mean we're going to see a return of Sanguinary Guard with an extra attack?
I don't know. I would love to. I think Death Company with an extra attack become extraordinarily silly. Yeah.
Interesting, right? That's a thing.
That is a thing.
Maybe it's not though. Death Company, extra attack. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's not a thing.
I mean, you can possibly get them up to like 7 or 8 attacks now per model, so it gets pretty silly with the right combos.
Yeah, that's a thing.
But whether it's worth it compared to what you can do out of the Space Marine Codex, it's hard to say.
Excuse me, you'd be fighting with Golden Angel Men.
That have donned the black like the Night's Watch.
Which have donned armor. FYI, I don't know if you know about the armor that the Sanguinary Guard wear, but it's only ever passed down once one of the Sanguinary Guard die. So effectively, it's armor that's been beaten enough that the Space Marine inside it has died. They then collected the armor and taken it back and then put it on a new guy. So it's not actually the most robust armor.
No, it doesn't sound like it. But they're in a frothing rage, so that's why they get their extra feel no pain.
There we go. Someone says that he needs a crash course in Captain Slaminology.
Slaminology, yeah.
Is Slaminology a real term?
I like the idea. I think we should move towards that.
Does anywhere teach the course in Slaminology?
Yeah.
Slam City is where it's held. Yeah. Our table boss is very excited about it. He's been to Slam City actually. So we're straight. So. Dom's turn is over, and he's not killed a knight.
No, but he has brought the Warlord down to 3 wounds by the looks of things.
3 wounds left.
Yeah, so the 2 Smash Captains did manage to put a decent hurt, not enough for both to survive. Yeah. So one of the Smash Captains did get stomped to death. The other one did survive that turn.
And he's now out of combat. And I don't know about you, but I feel like there is going to be a lot of las guns fired here.
I'm wondering. You know what? Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Do you want to just keep making saves until you're dead? Go.
Well, he also has a couple of those Grey Knight characters that if he wanted to, he could push up this way and just smite him down.
He could smite. I feel like actually he should
really
take the most ignoble death.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I want him to really suffer for being there. Because I won't lie, when I saw that first Smash Captain die, I was happy.
Yeah.
And I want to see the second one die. So let's do it. And also, I love the inclusion of the Grey Knights. Like, what's Voldus doing there?
Yeah, I really enjoy the concept too. I mean, Grey Knights are very they're considered a very poor army right now, and not without good reason. But having that little supreme command gives you a little bit of psychic defense. They look cool. Voldus is no slouch in close combat.
That's true.
Neither is Khaldor Drago by any means. So,
Yeah, it's a thing. And I mean, they're pretty tough. And are they able to? We'll find out. They can relocate, right?
not these. No, not that.
No,
not those three.
they have a psychic power that no.
Yes, they do. They could gate, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, he could, and if gets late game, gate somewhere where he's left just the tiniest of spaces. Everything is possible. Bale is crying right now. You are correct, or Ball, as some would call it. The whole planet is in mourning.
However, those knights are moving up against a bunch of Death Watch.
A whole swath of them.
Yeah, they are, but they don't really have the tools.
No, Death Watch.
To
That's
deal
not their
with
thing.
those knights. I mean, they can throw harsh words.
Yeah.
And they can throw a bunch of bolters at them.
Mm-hmm.
And with the beta bottle rule, do you follow that? The beta bottle rule.
Yes.
The better beat a bottle rule.
The better beta bottle rule.
Yeah, the better beat a bottle rule.
You got it.
Yeah, you bought it, you'll take it. We're from Nottingham and we make
We're
rules.
from Nottingham. We don't use continents. Consonants.
Yeah, that's right. Games Workshop is a Cockney now. And
I like it.
but their bolters is not going to do the work, Governor.
No. By rights, they're not. I mean, he can make them AP -3 if he likes, but I'm not sure if that's going to help any. And he obviously can't wound them on 2s.
He cannot
I
win
do what I
on
like.
no matter how hard he tries.
So it's a real bad scene. But that being said, he does have those 4 Lehman Russes in the back.
Yeah,
They're
if we
still
get
going
the
to do
top
work.
down, please. Yeah, as you'll see, those Lehman Russes. And at some point, it'll be interesting to get the stats for these two different armies, Imperium versus Imperium. I'm imagining it's 50-50, or is that not right?
Imperium versus Imperium will always be 50-50, but I think we could look
science.
I think we look at Imperial Knights versus Guard if we're going to actually take a look at this. We didn't get the stats up. I can get them for you. It's not a problem. I was a poor friend to Scrivo during that last break.
We all had a 5-minute break, which I felt we needed.
Yeah, we did, and I spent mine just lazily staring at the sky. Yeah, Scrivo apparently was moving a table for someone. He left the building, helping some random stranger move into a new house, I'm told.
Can I just say a big shout out to Ash Loftus? Deathwatch can put a thank you. Deathwatch can put a big hit on a knight with strats and Watchmaster support +1 to wound Titanics, AP2 ammo, CP heavy, but it works.
Yes, he could possibly pop about 5 CP into that to make it work, because he could also have one of the guys shoot a bolter to do D3 mortal wounds to a vehicle. The Watchmaster can do the same. He can put out a little bit of mortals on there. I'm not sure if it will be enough. I mean, it'll probably be enough to take out that guy with 3 wounds left in the back corner right here. Not sure if it does anything to our guys up front, or on the other side there. But yes, you are 100% correct, Ash. He can plink some things off. So we're moving into the shooting onto the captain right now. The Astra Militarum have put 74 las bolts into him.
Has he? Did he do the las into the?
Yeah, he's putting all of it into him. All
I'm
74
glad,
shots.
I'm glad about that. Yeah,
So-
but lightly toast him to death.
We'll see if how that works.
Yeah, blind him slowly.
Now, if we're looking at, just to get to the stats here real quick, in the versus match, Knights versus Deathwatch, Knights have a relatively decent lead on them. Knights have won essentially 37 of the 70 games, so it's very close. It's almost a 50-50.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, so it's about a 32%, a 52% win rate for those Knights versus Deathwatch. So, pretty even. And that's with the Knight majority versus Deathwatch majority lists, like we see right here. In terms of versus Guard, well, actually, no, this isn't even a Deathwatch majority. If we look at Astra Militarum, it's even closer. Guard and Knights have played 187 times in the last few months because they're 2 of the most popular armies. And it's 50.5% for Knights. 50.5, so very tight on from a statistics
Couldn't get much
standpoint.
closer, realistically.
Really, no, not unless he was playing himself.
Which I do all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
That's really what Scrivo was doing between games. Moving tables, whatever.
Scrivo's been doing great work with the new overlays, and we've had a tough old day doing that. Not a tough. I've had a great day, especially hanging out with the Falcon. It's been particularly good. I've really enjoyed it, and as you can see,
apparently we can cut to
what's really
the whole
interesting.
world.
Exactly, you can. There's the Scrivo working really hard.
Look at this guy.
What an
Look
idiot.
how beautiful he is.
There you go. He took his mum jeans off, so well done there.
Thanks,
even
Scrivo.
wearing a branded
Thanks,
T-shirt.
Karen.
That's a good company man.
He is a good company man.
He's
I
a
love
good
the
company
T-shirt
man.
too.
Let's go back to that home screen and check on him. So well done you.
Okay, back to the game itself. What do we have going on here? So that Smash Captain still
alive.
Look at that.
What the hell?
How many pips are on that dice? Can we cut in on that?
Three.
Die?
Absolutely. He's got 3 wounds left, but yeah, no problem. I got you, bro. Yeah.
He has 2 left.
He's 2 left. He's taken 3.
So he took 74 loud shots to the face. Was like, I don't care.
He's surely getting charged right now.
Whatever. Who
That
gives a crap?
Imperial Knight's charging him.
Well, this one actually
fell back.
This guy could though, if he really needed to, he could come back here.
That's not what he's going to do, though. I don't think.
No, these guys could try, but I mean, I don't know.
That's a mistake. I mean, they could lock him up.
Listen, a guardsman can boop a guy in the head if they really need to. It's going to be interesting.
A good booping is very important, I think, in game.
That's extremely exciting for Dom. If this guy lives this turn, ridiculous excitement.
It's big excitement. He doesn't have he's got no CP, in fact, left to spend.
He's already spent all of his CP.
All of his CP. He's playing the proper 40k. What do? You spend it all straight away, and then you go forward.
Ah, I see.
But that's not what. Look, we were talking about this the other day, actually. So a lot of 40k that I've seen up till now, or generally, has been use all your CP very early. In fact, actually, when I did the LCO coverage, LCO, not LVO, coverage earlier in the year, what we tended to see was both players out of CP by the end of turn 1. However, we've been talking about a lot of the games that you've been gamers and things you've been talking about recently have been people trying to manage their CP till later in the game.
Well, it's about knowing what you need to do late game. That's the key. So some armies are built to be top heavy, like Blood Angels. Mm-hmm. Blood Angels want to spend. They're going to be spending 5, 6, 7, 8. Even more CP in the opening rounds because they need to basically deal and oftentimes, depending on the list, deal a killing blow right away. Like we saw here. He spent all that CP to try and take out a knight and wound another one. Instead, he wounded one knight, did nothing to the others. So it really sucked for him in that regard. That being said, while he did waste a lot of CP, he didn't spend a lot of points on it, right?
That's true.
If you look at other lists, you'll often see this kind of CP management where you think about what do I need to do late game that's going to be extremely important. And so you'll save 2 or 3 CP.
So you'll save it all?
We'll save 2 or 3 till the very end on just an off chance. So
yeah, so that it becomes useful or viable at the end. This is the bottom of 1, everyone. No, this is the yes, it's the bottom of 1. Oh, no, we're now in... Yes, that's right. We're in the bottom of 1, so already Dom with the Imperium on the right-hand side of the screen has had his turn. The Smash Captains went forward, and now John with his Imperium has moved his Knights forward. What's going to be interesting when we move back into Dom's turn, so blue player on the right-hand side, is these tanks, which were hidden away from those Crusaders, are going to pop out because, as we've talked about before, this midfield game shooting is now going to start to become viable.
Yep, and so they're going to... What they were probably going to do, they're going to pop out, move only half, because they want to be able to double shoot, which Lehman Russes can do. And of particular note is the actual tank commander, because he's got a relic battle cannon that does flat 3 damage per shot, and that's really big. That's the guy that's going to be putting out damage more than the others, I would say. He's a little more reliable in the hitting, since I don't think they're going to be able to get within range for their coaxial shots. The Lehman Russ Conquerors, I believe these guys need to get up a little bit closer for those to be valid. It's possible this guy might get it within 24. So this little tank commander may come out from hiding. If he's within 24, he'll get the rerolls to hit.
Do you think it would be a mistake to bring him out now, or would you wait another turn? Just patience being the better part of valor here. Wait till he hits this line and then pop him out and shoot. Or would you just not pop him out, take the pot shots, he hits, finish him off?
It's really, I think it's what's going to depend on is what kind of line of sight this knight has. This Crass Crusader. If he has really good lines of sight, then yeah, I would keep him in hiding as long as possible. And
okay, that's really interesting. This is actually John will be able to give us our our camera again, and we'll be able to scan the battlefield. So as you can see, those walls, great terrain here, by the way. So I think that's going to be very tough to see that tank. Oh no, there's a giant hole in the middle.
Yeah, so
You're
that's going to
all
be the
good.
key. So it's really, if he comes here, and that giant hole is going to be a problem for him, right? Because he should be able to see right through it and lay waste if
This
need
is what
be.
we're talking about. That's the line here, just straight through. But then he's got another vehicle here, so another tank, and then there's two at the top as well. I think there's two. Yeah, there's two at the top.
So there's some potential here where he moves this guy down here around this area, and there may not be a line because of the wall. But it's hard to say. It's really hard to say right now. They're really talking a lot of the. They're getting the charges off right now. It looks like the Gallant chose to fight at full strength.
Yeah, I think he's charging the Blood Angels Smash Captain as they. But do you know another Smash Captain I love? The Smash Captain of my heart.
Val Heffelfinger.
Yes, straight from Slam City itself, Mr. Val Heffelfinger.
Unlike many of Rob's partners, I'll be delicate with his heart. There'll be no smashing of it. Now, I'm just going to come with you a couple. That was in English. I'm so sorry. We're going to try it again. I'm coming at you with a few updates, starting with Dan Platt versus Ridvan Scary Martinez. Dan's fiance is his dice caddy today and posted to Instagram, always great playing against a friend. And that's just adorable, and I love it. Riven also spent 10 CP in the first turn on Vect and various other sundry items, trying to slow down the Danimal's advances. But his grabby approach to Warhammer 40k seems to be paying off. He's deep across the board right now. Can't wait to see what's still left of Riven's army when I come back over there. Just in other places, we got Jim Vessel versus Jason Sparks. Jim, of course, playing the Demons list. Jason Sparks playing the 3 new Repulsor things. Gilliman, some Assassins, and some various other stuff. Mostly just those 3 big tanks. It's pretty aggressive with those tanks because he needs to actually hold objectives with them. Jim's list is going to smite anything off the table anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Jim was just starting his first movement phase when I went by. Josh Death versus Isaac Base. Josh has taken one of the center Ls. They have sort of a Nova L style setup there. And that's when you have 2 facing L ruins in the center of the board. And we'll see how that goes. Isaac was just coming out of his deployment zone, bringing his Ravagers out, trying to get his shooting in. Josh Death is playing some Knights, including some Warglaves, and a lot of Primaris. Look like Crimson Fist Primaris. Whereas Isaac is playing a lot of sort of light vehicles, your Venom Spam type list, with a couple Dark Eldar Flyers. I don't know how that one's going to go if he gets caught outside in the open, but it does give him a lot of chances to play the mission. We also have Mel Bielcourt. That's the Eldari list. That's really Harlequin heavy. He's playing Steven, just Pamprine. We're not going to say his whole name this time. He's got Pamps box him out really well. So he just did a really densely packed deployment zone. They were in the pointy hammer and anvil. Not that one. The long ways one. Regardless, it looks like Mel might just be running at him. Don't think that's a good idea. Looking good for Pamps, in my opinion. Eric Marcoux, this is a good one. He's playing 3 Crusaders. We had him as an interview earlier today. He's playing against your kind of classic, a little bit of a throwback, if you will. Smash Captains, Castellan, Guard Battalion. Maybe not a battalion, but a bunch of Guard. And that Castellan shot at the Warlord Crusader and did 5 wounds. So that's a big sigh of relief for Eric because it might give him a chance to actually respond and maybe take out something with his stuff. However, there is a Smash Captain lurking in the bushes. So I can't wait to go back to see. In either event, he's probably pretty happy if he's got, 2 Knights instead of just what likely could have been 1 after going second against that list. And that's basically about it. we're just getting into it. It's early goings yet here at Capital City Bloodbath 2019 in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Yes, there's a lot more action to cover. And who better than the two gentlemen who get more action than anyone within 10 feet of me? Rob and the Falcon.
I mean, that is patently true.
100% true. I've gotten way more action than the 0 people within 10
And you're from
feet
like
of
a
them.
tiny colony.
I am from a tiny colony, as no one would call it, but a British person.
Can we? Welcome back. I'm just showing you a bit of this display board because it's outrageously good. So there you go. There's a quick scan of it for you guys. Outrageously amazing.
It is absolutely gorgeous. We've said it a few times now. Both of these armies, very well put together, very well painted, a lot of attention to detail. Just absolutely absurd from a hobby perspective. And they're playing a pretty decent game of Warhammer. We saw at turn 1, Dom went full in, balls deep with his Smash Captains, trying to take out a couple of knights or at least damage them.
Went over here.
Yes.
2 of them went in.
Yes, they did not succeed.
They did not. So he lost one.
He did lose one in his own close combat phase. He did manage to put a good 12 wounds on the Warlord. Then his second Smash Captain came in, put in another 9 wounds. So that it was a Knight Gallant, was stuck with 3 runes remaining, and then it stomped the crap out of the other one in.
Almost murdered him.
Almost absolutely murdered him. But that was after taking 74 last shots to the face from these little bros right here.
No, did murder him. Sorry, did murder him.
Did
Didn't
murder
almost murder him.
So these guys almost murdered him. They were like, they tried their best, but I mean, they're guardsmen. They're just looking,
always trying hard.
They don't have insurance is the problem. It's a very big deal. So the knight here, he fell back, but knights are allowed to charge if they fall back. So he fell back, hoping to do some work to some scouts that were hiding up in this direction. When these guys failed miserably, as they are wont to do, he was like, well, fine. Came back, slapped the Smash Captain in the face, murdered him straight to death. Just absolutely killed
all the
him.
way to death.
All the way. So the Death Company captains are no more. And then he moved 1 Crusader here, 1 here to take on the other 2 units of scouts. And they were both deleted as well. So there is still 1 unit of scouts hiding up this way, which I believe he has kind of tried to move into cover. And that's really that. That was how round 1 went. So we're moving into round 2. Dom is moving up his Death Watch veterans to kind of make a big screen of storm shields.
That's just a line there, right?
Yes.
So that the tanks, this tank and this tank can come out, and they're going to be able to fire in. But and then also the same. But at this point, do you think he's going to expect to split fire with the 2 tanks he has here, and deal with that, or do you think he's going to try and all bring it in to deal with one?
I think he needs to
focus
one, and it's just going to be a matter of terrain as to how he does it. Because like we showed earlier, this is quite a good line of sight blocker with just this tiny gap here that you can see through.
The terrain is excellent, but also super functional.
It's super functional. So it's quite possible, looking at the table when we took that quick break to let Val kind of drone incessantly about his man crush Steve Pamprine, that he can probably get 1 tank just around here and 1 here, and just based off how angles work, this guy probably won't be able to get any line of sight.
Well, you're going to use maths on this.
Well, I don't know. I'm not an esthetician. I think that's for beauty products, but whatever. So this is what I would do, at least, is I would kind of try to tug them there, see if this line of sight's blocked by this. If it is, he's in good shape. He can put as much as he wants into here, double fire, probably be within that 24-inch range to get the rerolls to hit on everything. And if he rolls well on damage, because they're D6 damage a pop, he might be able to pleak off enough wounds that this is no longer an issue. He's already forcing the Knight player to spend CP to make the Gallant work at full. Being at 3 wounds, it's only moving a few inches a turn, and it's just not going to be able to accomplish anything otherwise.
And it's not that once the Knights are gone, there are no threats, but because there's those 3 Grey Knight characters, but really they're the big threats on the board.
It's 1,400 points of his army.
Yeah,
is in those 3 models.
It's very important, and I really do think that Dom with the Imperium on the right-hand side is in the driving seat of the game. That's how I feel.
Well, I think he is now, but for one reason and one reason only. It's what he's measuring right now. So one thing that John may or may not have forgotten about is Dom does have an Eversor assassin.
He does.
He did spend 2 CP to pick an assassin of his choice, and he chose the Eversor. The Eversor are an odd choice. I think for most people, it's often considered like the second last pick under the Calidus and the Vindicare. Vindicare not a great choice against knights, but an Eversor can pick up a good 20 of these dudes right here
and just go through them.
He just mulched them. He's got 8 attacks on the charge. Every time he kills a model, he gets another attack.
Ooh.
So theoretically, he can pop out 16 of these guys if he rolls well, which there's nothing saying he can't. And then he can 2 CP fight again.
So he's going to go through those boys.
So if he rolls well, I mean, he's hitting on 2s. He's going to be wounding on 3s with the reroll.
And they're guarding that objective, that CanHammer neoprene
and
objective.
They're engineers.
Oh, okay. That's very important. Now, why that's important, and we haven't touched on these yet, it's the secondaries that you get for ITC.
You got it.
So we can go through those, right? Now, I think?
Yeah, let's cover them right now.
Let's cover them right now because Dom has got Titan Slayer, and as you can see, he's already picked up 4 points for Kingslayer by killing those 2 Smash Captains.
I believe... Is that Dom that has the Kingslayer? This is Dom has the Kingslayer points because he put the 21 wounds on the Warlord Gallant.
Thank you.
So that's
how
where
he
he
did
got
it.
that. So he has no points for Titan Slayers because you cannot get both off the same unit.
Right.
So Kingslayer, for everyone that's listening, every 2 wounds you cause to a non-vehicle character will net you 1 point, and if it's your Warlord, you get an extra. And then if it's a vehicle or a Titan in this case, it's every 4 wounds. So as soon as he hit those 16 wounds, he's got his 4 point. He's already capped Kingslayer. He doesn't actually have to finish off the Gallant, but he can't get Titan Slayer points off the Gallant. It used to be that you could then once you've done your 16 wounds, you could then start getting these points. They've errated the rule book, so that's not something you can do. He's going to have to rely on putting wounds on those Crusaders to get those Titan Slayer points. As you can see here, hopefully everyone that's watching can also read.
They can.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's only like this for us.
Oh, okay. So every 8 wounds lost by an enemy unit that has the Titanic keyword, he's going to get points off of. So he's really going to have to put some work into those Crusaders to make that work. And then lastly, he's got the Recon. Not sure if that's going to work out for him since the Knights have already kind of pushed him back into that 1/2 other than the Eversor. We'll have to see how the game plays out.
Yeah, moving forward is going to be fairly challenging. But if the Knights go down, those vehicles might be able to thunder forward realistically, sharpish, late game.
Yeah, so I mean, he does have his scouts, 1 scout unit remaining that's kind of in like the middle half, so he might start be able to.
Isn't there a Knight Gallant right next to them?
Oh, so he did deep strike a Death Watch squad that we didn't realize was in deep strike. If we want to pop, let's remove this overlay real quick so we can take a look at that.
We'll get the top down coming for us, which would be fun. So we can point out where they are on the tabletop.
For sure. So it looks like they deep struck right here. Am I correct? It's hard to say. It's a little blurry for me on this side.
Yeah. There you go.
No, that's exactly what happened.
There they are. They are hidden in those Necron ruins, just ready to probably just stand there.
So, I mean, they all have Stormbolters, so they don't even have to just stand there. They're going to put out 20 shots against, say, a unit of infantry, which it looks like they did.
That's why
there are less of them on that objective than there were.
There are half of them gone now.
Yeah. And then the Eversor can come in and hit the other half. And that's basically removes all of the backline, and your Knight guy is going to be reliant completely on just trying to wipe him out after that with the Crusaders.
And it's a nice way to split as well, because now if you wanted to try and protect this backfield a little bit, then the Gallant, who's already moved forward, that's the Gallant, the Crusader. The Gallant is now split.
He has to pick. Yep.
But again, the terrain has just had a very big impact here, creating this channel and line that these Knights that have to go through, and it's been fairly challenging for them.
Yes,
I'd say. Everyone in the chat are very excited about your opinion on assassins.
Yes, so I saw someone at least had mentioned that most people in the UK would pick the Eversor as the most popular. At least in North America, it's almost consistently been the Calidus. At first, it was thought to be the Vindicare, but the Vindicare can be pretty hit or miss. What the Calidus really provides is that extra CP, but the opposite, right? A lot of lists, like you said, they like to be top heavy in their CP usage. Gene Stealer cults, Blood Angels, anything like that. They want to spend a ton of CP very early, and you're forcing them often to spend that extra 1 or 2 that they wanted to save to that late game, right? So that's where the Calidus comes in super handy. Plus, when it deep strikes, the 3 inches plus D6 a lot of times can cause tons of havoc to your opponent's backlines. So in a lot of matchups, you want that Calidus over the Eversor. It's not that the Eversor doesn't have a place. I think the Eversor was the right choice in this particular list, especially once these knights came up and then he balled all of his guys up right there rather than spreading them out.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
it really gave him an option. Yeah, it gave him a point to hit.
Exactly. He gives them a really easy place to deny engineers. Now, like someone had mentioned, I believe also in the chat, Dom spent all his CP turn 1, so the Eversor's not going to be able to fight twice and do all those things that we kind of chatted about. He's still going to possibly get 16 attacks.
But it's good knowing that he could have, were the CP available, that could have been an option that he took.
Yep. So it does look like the Warlord was picked up. Do we know, Table Boss, what picked him up?
We'll find out what murdered him. So there we go. The Warlord for the Knights has gone down.
Oh, so it does look like the Lehman Russ in the back corner here peeked his head out and just managed to have line of sight on him and took him down with the battle cannon.
Wow. Okay, so that's pretty big. I wonder, are these Lehman Russ also shooting into this knight?
Yes. So we can see that he's already put some wounds on. He's getting some pretty decent rolls. I believe he is getting full re-rolls because he is within 24 inches with those coaxial Stormbolters.
Wow.
So that is a big help. He's already stripped a few wounds off of him. This is looking really good now for Mr. Deathwatch.
Very, very good for Dom. He's looking. Yeah, it's going to be going well. I think he looks excited. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If his face is a face that can ever show excitement, maybe. No, I don't think that's.
The pit boss just looked at me and said no. And so I guess that is the best way to describe it.
Internal excitement.
And Ash Loftus, you are 100% correct about what the Vindicare suffers from. So the Vindicare is really good against some lists that have a lot of characters because it creates board control more than anything. Because now they're like, well, if he rolls that 6, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
But if you've ever played a Vindicare, you don't roll that 6 as much as you really want to. So that's the key. It's against like Chaos Demon lists, it can be very scary for them since they have so many very important characters that you can pick off.
The thing I tend to find in most competitive lists and also competitive players is the thing that they don't do is be excited about stuff that happens on 6s. They want consistent, regular results.
Yeah.
They want their actions to perform average or above average more than likely.
Yes.
So they don't tend to go for high-risk plays, especially in 40k, is my experience.
So it looks like these two tanks right here put 19 wounds on this
Wow.
Crusader.
Okay,
so he's down to
big.
5. It's a huge, huge deal. I'm really thinking, yeah. And now we're looking at. They're trying to determine charge range here on those veterans into the remaining infantry.
And someone in the chat did point out, and I'm sorry that I've missed who said it, but the 3 Grey Knight characters, which is a considerable points investiture, could, if the Deathwatch do come in, there's still 3 absolute monsters that can go spank them.
Yes, and they all have smites. I mean, they're not good smites, but they're going to pop 2 or 3 mortal wounds first and then hit them, right? So yeah, that's definitely something to consider. Like, this game isn't over by any means, folks. It's just it's been a really quick first couple turns. Those Smash Captains died right away. Didn't matter because those battle cannons in the back have done a ton of work already. Yeah,
and their job was to, obviously to go in and kill a knight if they could, but I think, to be honest, distract those knights until the battle cannons could start to do the work in the midfield. And he's got lines to still hold them up. They're still very safe. That terrain, this wall, he's got to be over the moon that he had 2 pieces
that
of
terrain
giant
is super
terrain.
helpful to him.
Yeah, really good. But again, I've been incredibly impressed with the terrain here at
across
CCBB.
the board.
Yeah, because it's pretty and it works.
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of places I tend to see it's one or t'other. One or t'other.
So
or sometimes neither.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes neither. I think what we're looking at now, the Knight player is about to go. My guess is he's going to spend 1 CP to make this Crash Crusader work at full again, if I had to guess, so that he can put some damage in.
Yeah, because he's going to want to. Thank you so much. So he's going to want to fire over here at those vehicles you can see, and they've pop their heads out a cheeky amount now, and then fire into them, and then stomp into the units in front of them. And it's very much that kind of like holding action that he's taking, trying to just stop them, just like, please leave me alone.
Yeah.
But
Get
unfortunately,
outta
he'll
here.
fire over the top of that as well. So very interesting. Night games are quick,
Night
fast,
games
but you can.
are quick.
I think the issue you can have sometimes with night games is that you'll play them too quickly, and you'll make that very, because it's a lot of output in a very small space, and if you do make a small mistake, that could be the game.
And that's why generally when you see these triple night lists right now, they're running a lot of bodies with them. They're going for either double battalion of infantry squad or a battalion of infantry and a battalion of cult mechanicus. And that helps a lot because you've got a ton more bodies on the board. You can then flush this all out so that you don't get these backline deep strikes from veterans. The cult mechanicus adds the benefit of now potentially giving your knights shrouded, so they get a 2-up cover, 2-up save. Like, there's just a lot of benefit to having that in a list like this, and that's why you see it a lot more often. The Grey Knight pick is very interesting. It does provide a bit of a bully in the back that can deep strike around, like you said, with Gate. The negative is that if you don't do that, then you end up in this situation, right, where you don't block anything off. You've got now a veteran squad that love to chew up infantry sitting in your back corner. You've got an Eversor that can come in at any time. I don't think he even brought him in this.
I don't think he
turn.
did in the end. I think he just brought down that Deathwatch company to do the
also
work.
do work. Like, it's intriguing. It's intriguing.
Yeah, and they're going to go through. I think, can the Deathwatch go toe to toe with the Grey Knight characters, or can they not? And I think
that squad in particular probably not. I mean, he doesn't have any CP to kind of buff them up. And Kaldor Drago is a monster, and so is Voldus. Voldus has a Thunderhammer with no negative to hit.
Yeah, he's serious. They wanted people to know. So there you go. There's a close-up of those. Again, great board, great models, ready to fight. And I don't think the Eversor's in there. You're just looking at characters realistically. Everything in the in Dom's army has been not scratch built, but has been customized in some way and magnetized. It really is a sight to behold.
So Dionysus, just to answer your question there, it used to be that if you did your 16 wounds or whatever you needed to do to get your max Kingslayer on a knight, you could then use the last 8 to score a point for Titan Slayer. But they errated the ITC booklet, and it now states that if you've done that, if you've scored any points, because they're both asterisked, if you score any points off of Kingslayer on a knight, you cannot then get any Titan Slayer points off of it, unfortunately. So that was a recent change, by the way. It was only in the last couple weeks.
But he is going to rock up those Titan Slayer points
already. Yes,
by
for
the end
sure.
of the game.
I mean, with already having done 19 wounds to this knight, and it looks like he's picked off a couple off of this one, he's well on his way to capping out Titan Slayer anyway.
Which is nice. It's actually the first time today we've actually seen someone. We've seen someone even this early. We haven't seen anyone really put even max secondaries on the board in any of our games.
Not any of ours
that we've covered today. And so this is getting them this early and this quick is quite exciting.
Yes, it is quite exciting. I've just been told that he has put 4 wounds on this night, so he's still working at full capacity, but he has taken a little bit of a schlocking. And this is the guy that really needs to do something this turn because he's probably gone the next one otherwise.
Taking him out, yes. He needs to do some work, and I think he needs to do it to the vehicles over here. But there's another Deathwatch Company squad here which can form a line to block. So
I mean, if I'm him, I'm thinking I'm putting all my shots into the tanks down this way. Depending on what he's using there, he can split fire. I'm not sure if he will. And then you come up and you stomp these guys to death.
Give them a good kick in. I think they're definitely.
That's how you
finally got one in.
Well,
you finally got one in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He sewed in it. Yeah, I agree with you. He's going to go forward, stomp on them, and so it really does come down to whether or not Dom's going to be able to fire back and deal with them. Is it Dom's turn now? We've moved into non-knight player's turn. Yeah, we have, absolutely. So the Eversor being at the front is his defense for those Deathwatch at the back. And then, we're definitely into.
So then it is the knight still playing. He's just working out some close combat shenanigans. Let's see what he's able to do. He's putting in some shots into the vets with the Grey Knight characters.
Yes.
With their Stormbolters.
Yeah, so that would be the Grey Knight characters here shooting up there into those Grey Knights at the back, which are almost getting recon, but not quite. Almost. So I don't think he's going to get the recon points realistically.
He did apparently also use Gate of Infinity on Voldus.
Did he? And where did he end up?
Just he popped him closer to try and get within that 9 inches.
Right,
from what
perfect.
I understand.
Arcanol, thank you very much for subscribing to Twitch Prime. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed to our Twitch or is watching either on YouTube or Facebook. Appreciate it loads. We'll be taking questions on Twitch if you want to join us. This is the Falcon from the 40k Stats Center. Thank you for being here. We've also got Max Dubois being our table boss.
And he's doing an
John,
excellent job of keeping us in line when we start
is
talking
doing
nonsense.
An excellent job. And also John.
Who is not keeping us in line. John
No.
is just over there checking texts. He's in his wife's DMs.
At some point, Val Heffelfinger is going to come back with some reports from the tabletop. Let us know what's happening. You guys have been brilliant. Thank you for sticking with us. The turn we're on it's the bottom of 2. Absolutely. Pardon me? Okay.
So right now, the Crashed Crusader here, Team USA, he is putting his shots into the tank commander, the warlord for Dom.
Which is this one here?
Yes. No,
yeah.
it is the bottom one from right here. Yeah. So and that tank commander's already taken looks like 5 wounds. He's got 9 remaining. So we're just going to wait and see if the Crashed Crusader can finish him off.
He's going to need to, I think.
He definitely needs to because that battle cannon is...
There we go. I think we've just seen the model taken off the board. So he's gone. That's one of the 3 Lehman Russes that you've seen. So you've got the Knight Commander and 3 Lehman Russes. There's still 1, 2, and 3 available to shoot in. So those guys are still there.
And it looks like he did use his, I believe it's the Storm Spear rocket pod up top to take out a couple of the Death Watch vets in front of him. Okay, we're told he actually just heavy flamered them. He used his rocket pod to finish off the commander. So that's cool.
Well, okay, that's fun. That's fun. And there really is a raggedy line. Knights go through even power armor, like they're just not there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which is why they do so well. And then you've got another company here. They're going to hold this line, I think, and hold them up for another turn. But the ability to shoot over the top is why the feet are so... I'm sure you guys at home don't need me to tell you, but I'll say it one more time. The feet stomping on anything with power armor just means that you can just fire the guns at the other threats.
Yes.
They're a multi-tool Imperial Knights and are fairly devastating.
So this tank commander up here, the Lehman Russ Conqueror took 6 wounds. So he's now down almost to half. Wondering if the other Crashed Crusader has finished shooting yet. Looks like he's still going. He's still rolling dice.
Yes, he is. So this Crashed Crusader?
Okay, so it sounds like he split fired, this Crashed Crusader. He did have line of sight on this guy and on this guy. So battle cannon went in here, brought him down to 6 wounds. The Gatling cannon went in here, brought this one down to 6 wounds. So now they're both under half. They'll be working at hitting on 5s. Go forward. They will still have rerolls.
And they're still going to get the reroll from their
coaxials. He has plucked a couple more wounds. He is going to try and finish off one of them. We'll have to see if he's able to. I think he's just about run out of shooting. He's now looking to see if he can get into those vets in the top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
With the charge.
Okay. All right. Sweet. So this is unit here?
So he has Voldus up here with against the assassin and the vets. It sounds like he's going to actually declare the charge on the assassin.
Okay. Good. That's real solid. And that's over there. There we go. On the tabletop. That's where we're talking about. So that's this squad. Nope. Yeah. Over there. So this has gone over and is attacked there, right?
Yep. Okay, so he was able to make the charge. He did have first in the fray on his warlord, which lets him reroll the charge.
So that would be the Grey Knight character.
The Grey Knight character
is the warlord, and he's able to do the damage.
I believe he gives a bubble to all the characters around him that gives him reroll charges.
Perfect,
so
which obviously affects himself.
I don't think Voldus has it. I believe it would be the brother captain. Oh, it's Drago that is the warlord.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Drago, given the reroll charges, allows him to get into the assassin, which is quite important, right? it's going to have a big impact.
Yes, it's very important because, I mean, he's probably going to smush this Eversaur unless he makes up his 4-up invulns.
Do you think that's going to impact the game in any particular way, or no?
I mean, I don't think it does. I mean, like someone's saying here, Drago can't have first of the fray, which makes me think it is the brother captain that has it. I'm just pulling up the list right now to take a look.
So the assassin's dead either way. So he's gone.
Assassin's dead. I believe it is the brother
smushed, captain, which is good. I don't think that makes much, but clearing another threat off the board is quite important, I think.
For sure. And taking out anything like that. And yes, it is the brother captain. I pulled up the list to take a quick look. It's not Drago. That was just our pit boss talking nonsense. He's absolutely drunk with power right now. He's just stomping around. Max Dubois, the Hellfire King, or whatever you want to call him. Living the life.
So with the combat phase, I think being over for Jon with the Imperium. So that is Jon with the Knights on the left-hand side. He's still got 2 of his Knights alive.
One barely, the other one mostly full.
So now we've seen Dom at the bottom straight in with his turn, no messing about. So this unit of Death Watch that were
Veterans,
previously here, they're moving forward, and I feel that they're going to. I don't know what do you think they're going to try and hit?
I believe they're just going to try to clear out the rest of those, the rest of that infantry squad, because it is another engineer squad.
So this infantry squad here.
Yeah. So I believe there's 4 of them left. So he's got 16 Stormbolter shots that he can put into them. Clear them off that objective is his goal, would be my guess, because he's going to be hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s with them. So not a terrible decision there. It looks like he is going to take the rest of his vets and try to create a screen around that Crusader, so that if it doesn't die...
So these are the vets that he's talking about
yes.
here. They're going to try and create a screen there and move forward. Absolutely. Like we said, they're obviously going to do that to stop them getting here. And I think we're going to see both the Knight at the top and the Knight at the bottom dead this turn, I'd say.
The one at the bottom, I would say for sure. I mean, even just the pot shots from the Stormbolters, he's going to be able to make them AP -2. He doesn't have any CP left, so he's not going to be able to pull any Mortal Wound shenanigans off of it. He does still have a Librarian as well that can smite. And yeah, he's got these battle cannons hanging out in the background. He still has 3 of them left, I believe. They're not working at full capacity, but even if he gets 1 shot through, 2 shots, it's going to be enough to take out that bottom Knight at least. And then that's another big hit to Jon's firepower.
Sweet. He's going to continue the movement up here and engage, I assume. Do you think he's not going to be able to bring this Knight down?
I'm not sure if he's going to be able to put 20 wounds on that top Knight. I believe that top Knight is the green one, and he doesn't really have any defense. It's the blue one that's got the 4+ invuln, but he's the one that's taken the most hits so far, so it's going to be interesting.
So this is the Knight we're talking about
here. Yes, he has a 4+ invulnerable save, but he's already down to 5 wounds, so
I think he's dead. I think he's dead from these tanks here.
I just don't think he has the output to also kill the top one.
Okay, so do you think he's going to try and hold it up here, and then...
Yes, and I think that's what you're seeing right now is he's shoving up I believe those are the remaining scouts that he had surviving that are shoving up that way. And he'll probably move the...
Well, so actually the remaining scouts are still here, which is nice.
Okay.
At the top of the board.
There must be another vet squad that he's pulling out that way.
And then there was a unit in here, so he's holding that up there, which is... And he still had some guardsmen on the tabletop as well to keep them safe. Thank you very much, Jon.
Yes.
We can go zoom in there.
Oh, maybe those are the remaining guardsmen he's pulling out from behind that wall. Yes, that's exactly what they are.
So there we go. So they're holding on and keeping everyone safe. And so the tanks, one more. That's right, human shield to keep the tank men safe.
Yeah.
That is the purpose of them. And the tanks that we're talking about obviously are there, and they're really the output. Although actually we lost one. Oh no.
It looks like he did manage to pull 2.
We lost another one. So unless he's round that top corner and I can't see him. There's only actually 2 of those tanks left. Those Lehman Russies.
Yep.
The tank commander's already gone. So not lots of output really.
No.
So that Gallant might actually do the work. So the Smash Captain's not doing the work in the first turn might actually be really impactful.
And that's what I was saying at first. But then, I mean, things got weird for a second. Now they seem to be coming back down to reality. We'll have to see it. These vets can still plink off wounds. I think that's going to be big. How many wounds can we plink off of this guy so that the battle cannons that are left can actually do something to the
and
big
we only
fella
need to do
up front?
4 to the bottom Knight?
5, I believe, was what he had left last we heard. And I mean, a couple Stormbolter shots are going to plink 1 or 2 wounds off on average. And if Librarian can get in there with a decent smite, he drops him. And then those battle cannons that are remaining can actually take 5, 6 wounds off of that knight up top that doesn't have the 4+ invuln without any CP spending. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, he does have 4 CP left.
So he can just rotate Iron Shield to get the 4+ anyway to keep him to do the damage and explode that knight. But currently, John at the top with his Imperium. So John at the top is the player with the knights.
Yes.
Is on 12 points. So he's already in the lead. But I feel like Dom's going to start to claw it back over the next few turns.
I think you're right, just because John is running out of resources. He does still, like we've said a couple times, he does still have his Grey Knight characters back here, and they do have the ability to gate. We've already seen him do it once. Voldus does get bonuses, so he could technically gate over this way and help.
It's a lot of points. This Grey Knight squad, which initially was deployed here.
I really think that John actually has a better chance at winning this game just because of how full up this guy is. That's the key.
So the Gallant at the top.
The Crusader at the top here.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Is
Yeah.
it? Or did the Gallant die?
The Gallant died. The Gallant was the Warlord.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So he has 2 Crusaders left. One at 20 wounds, which is important because he's so full. It's really going to be hard for him to pick both of these off. And like we said, we still have these guys back here. The veterans are going to kill these infantry squad more than likely. But then, I mean, Drago can easily take on these veterans while Voldus kind of teleports over here to provide support if need be.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, let's see if that pans out the way we thought it was. But while we're waiting for things to pan out, we'll see what the panhandler himself, Mr. Val Heffelfinger,
I mean, he is essentially
has got.
a poor
Let's see if
person,
he's
a
found some
vagabond.
gold out there in the field.
Oh, hi, everybody. Uncle Hef here, out wandering about the capital city bloodbath and providing Rob with much-needed pee breaks intermittently throughout the broadcast. So I thought I'd update you on our 2 winners so far here on our beautiful stream table, brought to you by the Honest Wargamer. Caleb Edwards and Jeffy Pandereta. So Caleb, if you recall, is running a very model-heavy orc army with lots and lots of grots and mech guns and this sort of thing, as well as 3 flyers in a freebooters detachment. And he got first turn and just about zoned old Jeffrey off of the entire table. There was only a Sanctus and a Patriarch clinging on for dear life as he went into bottom of 2. So he was, as I went by, trying to wedge his way back onto the table because it seems like he maybe put a little too much in reserve for that particular matchup against a board control type army. At any rate, he was bringing in the hand flamers, and maybe he killed enough grots to get himself some space and be able to play in that game, but not looking too good for hero Jeff against the evil Caleb Edwards. Just scrolling up a little bit over on Dan Platt and Riven's game. That would be Scary, Dan Platt, of course, playing the Triple Disco Lords, Mortarion, Plague Bearers, and a whole lot of good times. Riven playing his Drukari flavor of the week. Looked actually fairly tight. Mortarion was very deep down the table, so he was mixing it up with some racks. We were only on bottom of turn 2, though, so not a lot I could tell from the board state. But looked like there was still lots left on both sides, which leads me to believe that maybe Dano was sort of edging that one out. But Scary, he's a pretty clever dude. Cagey, he's probably clawing back to get some points. Over at the Jim Vessel, Jason Sparks table, we were just finishing turn 2. 3-3 on primary, 1-1 on the secondaries. Again, still lots of models. Jim had come up. He was actually he had gotten hold more in that turn. It looked like Sparks had to pull off one of his. He's running the 3 big repulsor executioners with some other Imperium stuff like Gilliman and some Primaris Marines and some assassins. So it looked like he had to pull back off of one of the objectives, and because it's the 4 in a diamond-like pattern, that of course ceded more than the objectives necessary for Jim to get that one. It's gonna be hard for him to get it back too, just the way they're set up. So that means that Sparks is probably hoping to be able to either bonus or get kill more every turn, which, as you know, against Plague Bears with characters hiding behind them, might be a bit tricky. Anywho, in another game, we got Mel Belcourt versus Steve Pamprine. Of course, Mel, as you may remember, he's playing a Harlequin-heavy Eldari list. Stephen Pamprine, he's playing Flash Gits and a bunch of orcs with the Sag gun and lots of grots, what he usually plays, as well as a lot of smasher guns. Not a lot to say other than say that, Pamprine, of course, has a very significant board presence. It looked like it was coming about the end of turn 2. Middle of turn 2, because the Void Raven bomber I had mentioned earlier was still sitting in the same spot, so it hadn't bombed anything yet. Pamprine went in with a War Boss to kill a Solitaire, whiffed brutally. Then he did the Orcs is Never Lose, or whatever the fight and death stratagem is for Orcs, which his opponent's Male Vected, of course, rolled a 1, reroll. Guess what the reroll was? That's right, it was a 1, folks, which is what you get for using Vect. All right. So I believe that kind of brings us... there's another good one, Eric Marcoux versus Jean Masson. I'm pleased to announce that it is, in fact, a Jean, not a Jean. And as a matter of fact, this is a game being played in both official languages of Canada. That'd be en anglais and en français, locally known as franglais. He's on top of 2. Castellan on 1 wound. Eric sitting there still had 2 Crusaders left, which is kind of a best-case scenario for him. Unfortunately, one of them was probably sitting around 18 wounds, and Mephiston kind of had appeared from some ruins, so I'm thinking next time I go by there, it's going to be 1 Crusader on that table and a whole lot of Guard. So that's bad because Eric is playing triple Crusaders, down to 2 Crusaders, and Jean is playing your Castellan plus Guard and Blood Angel cool guys. I've lost my earpiece. This is a disaster. I can't hear my voice anymore. I don't even know if I sound good. And on that fine note, we're just going to bail on the stream, get out of here because I've shamed myself and my family. Luckily, I'm not actually Val Heffelfinger, but that sure is Rob and a pretty bird Falcon hanging next to him. Back to the booth.
Welcome back to the live coverage of round 3 of the Capital City Bloodbath. Thank you so much, Val Heffelfinger, for that. My name's Rob, and this is the Falcon.
The Falcon.
Caca. Welcome back. As you can see, we decided to play to put 2 armies against each other, which kind of have the same name and kind of the same stuff-ish, but it's not really. It's 3 Imperial Knights versus
Guard and Deathwatch with a little bit of Blood Angels for spice.
But the Blood Angels are dead now.
The Blood Angels are super dead now.
They're super dead.
They went hardcore aggressive, and it didn't pan out, and we're starting to see why that didn't pan out as the game progresses more and more. While you were away, we went through Dom's shooting phase, and it was absolute garbage. Dom was unable to kill the Crashed Crusader at the bottom that we assumed he would just be able to finish off.
That is really a big deal.
To be fair, watching it while Val was talking incessantly, it was just the dice went absolute cold. He failed. He got 2 hits with both of his battle cannons. And that was with rerolls on the amount of hits he was going to get. So that went very poorly for him. He only managed to put 2 wounds on them with the battle cannons. The Stormbolters put on an additional 2 on the Crashed Crusader.
Is he sat on 1? This guy right here, Team America,
has 1
sat
wound
there
remaining.
on 1 wound.
Yes, so he's going to have to charge him once the charge phase happens. He's now just going through the rest of his shooting at the top with the Stormbolters. It doesn't look good. It's not look like he's John's picking up anything.
No, I don't think he is.
So he did go. Apparently, he did go and roll double 1s on the charge.
Okay.
So yeah. So it really has been just a poor turn for Dom here. We're just rolling out a few Overwatch shots up here to see what happens. But a really, really negative turn of events. In a turn where Dom needed everything to play out. So
if we look at the top down, we'll be able to see how exactly this game has panned out so far. In the first turn, what we saw was the Blood Angels Smash Captains flew over on wings of fury, and they were not as furious as they needed to be.
No, by all means. And we talked a little bit about it. So the knight player did have a gallant that was the warlord that was sitting around here, and he does have a 2-up armor save, or did at the time, due to the relic that he took. He also had a Crass Crusader hanging out here and one down here. What I thought he would do was do his nice little fly up over this way, smash around this side of the one knight to see if he could kill it. Instead, he went into both, right in the middle, because he was worried about heroic intervention. So rather than try and clip aside, he just went right in, which I'm not sure if it was the best play, but he swung in mightily. It did 21 wounds to the
warlord. To be fair, the big thing that happened was on a 5-up save.
Yes, he made Jon did make 5 of 7 saves.
5 of 7 saves, which is probably a game swinging moment in of itself, realistically. Then that meant he obviously was alive to carry on for a while.
Yep.
Didn't crush the Smash Captain, but eventually he did die. And then also the Gallant died in return.
The Gallant did die from the tank. We did have a tank commander and then 3 other tanks that were hiding back here. All Lehman Russ battle tanks or Conquerors, which are just a battle tank with the potential to reroll. The battle tanks came out. They did kill the Gallant that was here, and they put a lot of wounds into the Crusader that had come this way, brought it down to 5. In response, the Crusaders killed 2 of the battle tanks and severely injured the other 2. And then this last round, Dom was just, like we said, unable to do anything. Put 4 wounds on a Crass Crusader with 5 remaining, and plunked away a few wounds off of some infantry that are hanging out here as engineers.
So I think one of the key points to talk about really here are, like, the reason knights, in my opinion, are so good is because, like, you are affecting the dice and what you're having to roll so much. That toughness 8 means you're rarely wounding them on better than 3s.
Exactly.
So that's making a big difference. Then they're cutting out a third to sometimes a half of the damage you're doing through the invulnerable saves. So their survivability is just... You have to play against it to understand it, and then the output for the wounding that they're taking. If they're not dead, they're still very, very dangerous, even on a wound. And then if they die in your lines, there's the opportunity for them to explode and do the mortal wound. So in reality, that's why they do so well at events. Why they're so popular. They're so, I don't want to say easy to use, but they have a very I would say that they're quite safe, realistically, and you can kind of make mistakes and recover.
Yes, I agree.
And the duality, the ability to charge, wipe even the toughest of units out, really, with the stomping feet while shooting over the top, is why we're seeing loads of Crusaders generally playing in games, I would say. Yeah,
and the fact that the Crass Crusader can do so much damage to vehicles. So, moving into what's happening right now, Jon is positioning here, trying to get a few more points. As you can see, the score is actually 13-12 in Dom's favor. And that's mostly because Jon has been unable to score engineers, as he has been having to shoot with this unit here. And in order to score engineer points, you have to be able to do nothing for the full turn.
Just stand.
Yeah, so he's only been able to score. He's been able to score 0 engineer points due to that.
Do we ever know what the engineers are doing? Like, do we ever have like a story for it?
They're just, playing around. I'm told that he does have 1 engineer point from last turn. It just hasn't been updated on our screen.
Okay.
Anyway, so as we see here, it's just how we're playing out. The infantry squad did manage to finish off, along with Voldus, the unit of vets that were up here just now. So that gets him another kill. We're going to hopefully get a little better update on the secondaries. We're told that he did score an engineer that turn. I didn't think he had, because he did use his own shooting phase, but we'll see what happens once Scrivo gets back and gets a look at the sheets. It looks like we have had another tank get picked up by the Crass Crusaders.
So that is all, I think. No, we've got one left.
One remaining. So
in that top left-hand corner, the solo tank. And he's got to feel like there's a big target on his back right now.
Oh, 100%. He's got another Crass Crusader just staring him down. That's 3 big game hunter points. So Jon is starting to pull ahead. That will put him at 15 points if he has the engineer.
I won't lie to you. I'm surprised by the course of this game. I thought with the early attack of the Slam Captains, and also with the screening that would be able to be done with all of the infantry squads and the Death Watch squads, and then also the deployment
deep strike
here.
in the back. Yep.
Yeah, the deep strike in the back. I really did think it was Dom's game.
I think I thought it was pretty 50-50 at that point. I do think that Dom had a chance, a really good chance at making like a 55-45, 60-40. But Dom has rolled very poorly. The dice have been very bad. Not really in his favor. Lots of ones, lots of twos.
Okay, so Dom apparently might concede in a turn or two.
It's completely possible at this point. If he only has one tank commander remaining and he doesn't have much else, he really has nothing to finish off that Crass Crusader. And so right now he's just looking at trying to score as many points as possible. We have got an updated sheet at least. So it looks like Dom has 12, 14.
So they're playing the bottom of 3 right now is what we're seeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and for the... So we're just waiting for the turn to end here. John's just finishing off, seeing if he's going to pop some charges off against the units in front of him. That's why he's debating right now with his Crass Crusader at the top here, if he's going to charge into the infantry squad and try to stomp them out.
Here?
Yeah, I believe that's what he's looking at. He took some shots.
What do you think he's trying to achieve by the end of this turn?
Well, I really think at this point he's just trying to get kills and clear out some of this board control that Dom's trying to hold on to. Really step on the neck at this point. With Dom failing those rolls earlier, it's put him in such a bad position. And this knight being so healthy, I don't see any reason why you don't just go
having no
into
answers
them.
now with the loss
With
of
really-
all but
yeah,
one of the tanks.
Exactly. He really has no answer.
So interestingly, the Blood Angels captains right at the start might have just been effectively the loss at that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, because even if this knight at the bottom had gone down in the last shooting phase, as you said, this absolute monster at the top is still just kicking face.
Yeah.
And he
Just kicking face.
Yeah, and Dom had a bunch of tools to deal with it.
He did. It just like the boss has said, is he just rolled bricks. He rolled lots of ones and twos. He wasn't getting what he needed. The dice weren't in his favor. It's one of those games that can sometimes happen, and I don't think I think by blowing all his CP early on that mad dash, it didn't leave him the options to CP reroll those important rolls that he probably needed. It does look like the last tank has been picked up.
Yes, he's gone. That last vehicle at the top, dead as a dodo, relatively. So that means that there's almost nothing on the table that can touch those knights.
No, it's just a couple bets.
You can plink things away, but just vets. And this is turned in a turn.
Yes.
In a way that I hadn't really expected. I really did think Dom was in the driving seat, so it's been interesting. But it just shows you the resilience of those knights and then their output.
Yes, 100%. They can put out so much damage, and
survive so much.
Yes.
They've survived like a ton of stuff being thrown at them, all the CP, all the smash captains, all the tanks, and they're still just running around doing their job. And yeah, just again, it just shows you why they're chosen so much and used so much in competitive 40k.
for sure.
As the most popular faction. Okay, so we're going to have the score updated in a moment to show you. Because we're moving now into Dom's turn, is that right? Not correct?
I believe we are now going to start moving into the top of turn 4.
Okay,
They're
still
just checking a few things for John. We're looking at a 4-point turn for John on primaries already, because he's definitely holding more. He's already killed more. So this is just about cleanup for John, I think, at this point. We'll see what happens.
Interesting. Again, like I am shocked.
This game looked a lot closer up until probably about 20 minutes. Well, it's maybe more like 10, 15 minutes ago when things went super south on that one shooting phase.
Yeah. Well, we expected. To be honest, I don't know what we thought was going to deal with the Gallant at the top.
Yes, the Crusader at the top was super deadly. But I mean, it is what it is. What can we say? Losing the 2 smash captains so early, kind of sacrificing them without getting the return.
I think maybe had he lost a knight.
Yes. If he had finished off that Warlord or had put into one of the Crusaders, which I think would be the better option, to be 100% honest, if he had gone into one of the Crusaders first and taken it out, which much easier to do without the 2-up armor, he's only going to get a 6-up save against them. That's a better play. And then he doesn't leave himself open to this. Sure, the Gallant's probably going to kill those captains, but that Gallant is much easier to move block.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. And you're not shooting the screens off with the Crusader.
Exactly.
And also, yeah, and maybe he just thought the battle cannons are AP -2, maybe 3.
AP -2.
Maybe -2. So maybe he thought, I've got the smash captain is going to take the save down to a 5-up. The battle cannons are going to take it down to a 4-up. maybe it's easier to go through that process.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to talk to him after the game to get the thinking on why he went for that Gallant first, because I do, like I said, I do think that was just the wrong choice early, and it's really hurt him since.
But then, I mean, he can't. Well, that said, he can't really argue with it. Like, he can't really say, well, he made 5 out of 7 5-up, so what can I do? Which is absolutely fair, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is one of those things, like he said, he did make 5 of 7 saves, which was huge. There was a little bit of the dice turning against him there, but does he make 5 of 7 on a 6-up versus a 5?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Probably not, but then probably that's what I love about 40k.
Yes,
that's what I love about
probability
gaming.
is always a thing.
Is those dice rolls. Sometimes you can roll those 6s and it's just going to work out. That isn't how people play well.
No,
that's not what you plan for. But that's why I think we all love this game.
Oh, for sure.
Because people will come and tell you a story of the time they rolled a bunch of 6s or a bunch of 1s, and they're going to be over the moon.
It's actually one of the main reasons, other than the lore, why I love to play my Custodes, because just that one man against all the odds, hero hammer style play.
Just 3-up in runs all day long.
When a Knight Castellan or a Valiant hits you with everything they've got, and that one guy takes it all right in the face, and he's just like, nope, I stand here.
I have
love
the
it.
goldenest shield.
You shall not pass. Yeah. I just love that feeling, and it also makes for great stories after the game when you have a beer with your bud.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. There's a tighter shot. But again, another thing to point out, and I know we've said it a bunch of times, but it's still worth talking about, because one of the things that gets talked about with competitive 40k sometimes is not how beautiful the terrain and armies are. You hear a lot of conversation about functionality and and speed painting and a bunch of other stuff, but that is not what you're seeing on the tabletop right here. You're seeing a gorgeous piece of terrain, well done TOs, and you're also seeing just a stellar set of armies playing there. Look at this guy. This is the guy that's the issue right now. He is just outrageously impactful in the game at this stage.
Yes, I mean, he's picked up 3 tanks now. That one alone, I believe, has been the one doing a lot of the work since he's been at full health without having to have any CP spent on him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he is also the one that has he has the headsman's mark.
Which is the one we thought he should go for early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the guy that he gets +1 damage against vehicles with both his weapons. So to me, that's your primary target when you have 4 tanks that you're expecting to do most of your heavy lifting after those captains die. And when you play Smash captains, you expect them to die. If you're going to play them that way, that aggressively, if you're not using them as a backline protection, like against Knights, you really should be going in and trying to do your best to stomp something out. You go after the guy that's going to kill your tanks the easiest.
And that's just not what was done.
That's just not what was done. So it's unfortunate, but it's
again,
it's how it's
you're right. I'd like to hear when we get to it. I'd like to hear what he's got to say about why he made those choices, which I think is going to be really exciting to hear. I don't think there's too much left of this game. I just want to say thank you to everyone for watching.
Yes, for sure. I believe we're going to see Dom here as we move into his turn try to take out that remaining Crusader more as a small win, a small victory.
I think it's a fuck you.
You got to take you got to take the victories you can sometimes in games like this when things go south. I mean, you never know when that one bolt pistol is going to drop the knight, and it just feels good after having a game like this.
The heavy stubbers of the world.
Oh yes, exactly.
Yeah, they're going to do the work.
Yeah.
They're going to let you know.
Yeah, when that one Vanguard veteran hits somebody with a hand flamer and drops the Knight Castellan, it just warms your heart.
Yeah, of course you can. Absolutely. You've done real great today. You enjoyed yourself?
I absolutely loved today. Had a great time. It's always good to have somebody that actually knows what they're doing sitting beside you, so that really when you mess up, they can take over, and you've done that for me.
I don't think that's true. You've done a stellar job. And everyone in the chat, I'm sure you guys have listened to the Falcon on the podcast before, but you guys let him know how he's doing, because I think he's doing a great job. You answered the question earlier. I know Dionysus was super chuffed with it. He's like, you guys are great. But I got to say,
you're great, Dionysus. Yeah. I believe that's how we pronounce your name. It isn't like the Greek god, but you're doing your best.
Are you trying to pronounce the names of the Twitch chat well?
Well,
that's not what I do. Just kind of stab it at the. I'm like, Arcanol, you'll do.
Yeah, Akapapapo. Skrowanvo. Who's Skrowanvo?
Yeah, Arcanol. What's this? Vulflinger?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, that's a silly name.
Bunch of wankers.
That was definitely a tangent now.
For sure.
I've lost where I am on the table.
And I mean, guys, we're really sorry about this, but like we said, the game did really turn south really fast, and so there's not a whole lot to look at on the table. But
There you go. Irish Minotaur's super
Oh,
happy.
there we go. Dom succeeded. He finally managed to pull
killed
that
him.
last wound off.
He died
with
to a smite.
That one librarian.
Alkanololol, thank you for the 300 bits. To
Thank
let
you
us know that we're doing a good
so
job.
much.
We appreciate that. We should probably put Streamlabs over the top, but I'll tell John to do that in a moment.
Oh, Irish Minotaur, thanks so much. Yeah, you brought the best, greatest content together, greatest content creators together as one, like a Megazord, which is 100% true. And I think maybe
Can I
right
be
now,
the Meg?
I think you can. I think we should pass it over to the Dragon Zord himself, Val Heffelfinger.
The pure Dragon Zord.
Okay, well, I see things have been going well here. Real proud of you guys with this matchup. But out here in this beautiful world, this jungle, if you will, of tabletop wargaming, a tangled mess of sweaty limbs and bodies, throwing dice with great passion and certainty. Dan Platt and Ridvan Scary Martinez are currently top table, I believe. It looked okay for Dan. He was sort of in position with all his big, heavy hitters, and they're all dead. Everybody's dead. Discolord's dead. Morty's dead. There's just not a lot left for Dan. His fiance's crying. The Dice Caddy is demoralized. You want to see your team up. You know, you want them to hold you up. It's really falling apart over there. Looking like Riz, that's what he goes by, might pull that one out. Again, going over to Jim Vessel versus Jason Sparks. This is a very high-level 40K, much beyond old Heffelfinger. But again, it looks to me like there's not a lot of action on secondaries right now. And the primary seems to have been ceded to Jim. So there's basically a hold one, maybe a killed one for Jason. Jim's still set up for a hold more, and depending on how the turn swings, kill more too. Gilliman just charged into sort of a big swirling mess of plague bearers and demon princes and all sorts of things, and Jason Sparks also has the big new repulsor executioners behind those guys. But Guillaume, he strode forth with the sword of the Emperor, and then there was some Slaneshi mirror that just sort of got carried out. It was like, chill, bud. You're not doing anything for a turn. So Guillaume's just chilling. And Jim seems to be grinding him down. It's very nice. I'll keep going. We'll go over to, again, Trials and Tribulations of Stephen Pamprine, again playing Mel Belcourt. He's playing a Harlequin's Heavy Eldari army. Stephen Pamprine, of course, with the Flash Gits, Smash-A-Guns, Free Buddha, Melange. Turn one, looked like he's lost a lot of models. A lot of the boys are dead. He carries a big boys squad. The Flash Gits were in reserves, but there's still 3 planes going. Again, that one doesn't look good for Pamps, but I've counted them out before, and they say one thing about Pamprine. He keeps them keen. Moving on, we've got Eric Marcoux. Oh, my goodness. This is madness. All right, guys. 3 Crusaders, 2 Basilisks, an Emperor's Wrath, a bunch of random dude bros of the Emperor versus your tried and true 1 year ago, the demonic archetype of this meta. And by that, I mean not demonic at all. It's also Imperium. It's a Castellan. It's guard bodies. It's Smash Captains. In this case, also Mephiston. As I mentioned before, in turn 1, Eric only lost 1 of his 3 Crusaders. Turn 2, however, he still had 2. Going into the charge phase, Mephiston coming out of a ruin, sizing up that Crusader. Guess who died in Overwatch? That's right, old Mephiston. Or as we like to call him in my neck of the woods, Memphis Tom. So basically you got 2 Crusaders just booting dudes in the face right now on that table. Not looking good. It's, well, unless you're Eric. And again, that is a game being played in both official languages of Canada. Let's see here. Oh, and another one here. So the 2 winners so far today on our stream table, Caleb Edwards playing Orcs, Jeffrey Panderera with his Gene Stealer cult. As I mentioned before, he had been sort of zoned out off the table, but he came in with those flamer guys, burned up a bunch of grots, an aberrant-sized hole in the side of Caleb's lines. A bunch of aberrants came in and destroyed all the Mega Knobs. But now the thing is, there's a lot of squishy stuff on the table, and when I left, the DACA was happening. I doubt there's any aberrants left alive next time I come around there. I don't know. I've counted people out, and they've come back before. I don't know what's happening in Eric Scriven / Eric Trock's game against Paulo Batista, who's playing a sort of an interesting little Nurgle list, you know, with Morty and Plague Burst Crawlers and the drones you don't see anymore. But I'll tell you, it's a friendly game. Those guys are helping each other. It is a real heartwarming example of the types of places this hobby can take you. As a matter of fact, I was standing there as Paulo learned about heroic intervention, just like all of us have, which is when you accidentally wound up 3 inches too close to a character and you discover that, yes, in fact, that character can heroically intervene, even if you didn't charge anything. Whoopsie-doodle. So that's what's going on there. I was told to hurriedly come over here, and so I did, and I've delivered my report. Not sure if I'm throwing it over. Oh, look at that. I am. Very tight production here at the Honest Wargamer. I'm having a blast. We hope you are too. Over to you, Chuckle Buckets in the booth.
I've always said look professional, but don't act professional.
Oh, that's the whole
point. I think
point.
that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 40k and also Warhammer is a game of fun, and I think most of the people here are half cut.
Oh, if they're not half cut, they should be. We have a bar in the back.
And they're not even trying. So, you know, you can only really polish up this gem of a sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Warhammer at this stage as a sport is very much like English soccer in the 70s.
Yes.
Where people would be kicking a ball while smoking, and instead of having water on the sidelines, would have beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wish it had
whiskeys.
stayed
like
that level of professional.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just
Talking about
is that not how Canadian hockey is
packing
literally
about.
played?
Canadian hockey. Yeah, it's all vodka inside our water bottles if you want to get that.
Back inside of water bottles.
Vodka. So we cut back to the game real quick. As you can see, things have kept going poorly for Mr. Dom. He's been doing his best.
He's been trying really, really hard.
He did manage to pick up that Cross Crusader for the small victory.
And I'm proud of him for it.
And I am really proud of him.
Yeah,
but he's now down to his last veteran squad.
Yeah, and he doesn't care though. Look at that. It's still look. What I like is even at the end, precisely measuring, doing everything well.
Yeah, there's no sloppiness here.
Not at all. Like razor tight, even until the end. So that shows Canadian Warhammer at its finest.
Exactly. So as you can see, he's moving his last veteran squad that he has left. He's going to try and take on Voldus and Kaldor Drago. I believe they're hanging right over here.
With one veteran squad.
Yes, he's going to take them both on. He also still has a company commander hiding behind a wall over here, and that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is it for models on the board for our good friend Dom. To be fair, John also doesn't have a whole lot of models, but his are a little bit more impactful. He's got this nice Night Crusader just walling that area off like Gandalf against a Balrog.
I mean, he's gonna hold up as much as he wants to hold up.
Yeah, at this point, he's there for life, I think. He's just going to stay there.
Yeah, he's ready.
Open up a business,
Yeah.
small, sell rotisserie chickens. And then here, like we just mentioned, I believe it's Voldus and Kaldor Drago hanging out on the same objective. They're just, bumping heads, talking to each other, touching butts. The things that buddies do when Drago comes out of the warp every now and then. Because, guys, if you didn't know, Kaldor Drago is like the most baddest of asses in 40k. He lives essentially in the warp and just occasionally pops out
to fight,
help other people. He's, I believe, the only 40k character that was ever in Warhammer Fantasy Battle as well.
He was.
Which was a very exciting moment for me when I read that. I fanboyed a little hard.
Yeah.
Also thought it was
I can't
ridiculous,
believe he's left the warp one more time to enter this particular battle.
Yeah, he was. Me too, because I don't think he's actually done anything this game. He kind of just popped out, was like, "Hey guys,
emotional
need my
support
help?"
is important though.
I guess you're right.
Yeah,
Voldus was
I
having
take
a rough
emotional
day.
support over impactful support any day.
Voldus was having a rough day, and he just needed,
He's like, no one's really paid attention to me. They paid attention to Belisarius Call and and Gulliman and all of those releases in that kind of part of the release schedule for Games Workshop. The Indominus Crusade, that was it.
Yeah.
Then no one really cared much for.
No one has mentioned him since.
No one's mentioned him.
No,
no
I'm sure he's been in a book at least once, and they were just like, "What's Voldus doing?"
Been talking about Celestine loads.
Oh, all the time.
Cole, all
every
the time.
they cut to Voldus, it's like, "What's Voldus doing?" He's like, "He's doing psychic stuff."
Yeah, him and the Vizark are kind of handing it out.
Yeah,
just being like, "Hey, do you remember us?" And everyone's like, "No,
no, we don't. We don't care.
Nor care."
Voldus, your army's very bad, and Vizark, you have the worst rules of any of the Inari, which is saying something.
Which is saying something. And we don't mean worse as in poorly written to affect our gameplay.
Yeah.
Just, you're bad.
You're just bad. Anyway, we also have this squad here with the brother captain getting engineer points for Jon.
Which is important. As you can see now, Jon has taken a commanding lead, 23-15. Also, none of the secondaries are going to be achieved. Like, they are maxed on this, not maxed, but all the secondaries that they can achieve are now achieved.
Yes, because at the end of this turn, he'll have his 4th engineer point.
Yep.
Because we are moving into round 5. We don't have it updated for the 3rd, but it is already there. So, yeah, so at this point, we're going to see him max his engineers. He's going to max his big game hunter, max recon.
It's not possible to max engineer.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so apparently the guard that are left are not the engineer squad. I thought they were. Poor me.
But that's good. That's good. So yeah, he's going to be. So he's got all of his big game hunter, all of his recon, and 2 of his engineers. So he's done well. Best that we've seen done on the stream so far.
Both players actually did very well on secondaries. It's the primaries that's telling this tale.
And weirdly, again, no bonus points for the mission. It's almost like it's not worth playing, like ITC. Maybe.
Whoa.
That's what adds the flavor to the mission. That's what adds the flavor to the mission.
Reese, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I can't control this man. He's an absolute monster.
Reese, you can just message me. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. Reese doesn't listen to this stuff anyway, so it's fine.
Dwama says over on the chat.
Dwama. Oh, marriage.
And then, wow, you've hit a nerve with Scrivo there.
Yeah, well, Scrivo's watched The Princess Bride before. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he loves The Princess Bride. Princess Bride, by the way, one of the best films in all.
It is in my top 3.
Yeah, not The Princess Diaries.
No, Princess Diaries is much poorer.
Yeah, much poorer, not as good, and not as like 40k as The Princess Diaries is. No, Bride.
They're both. I guess they're both similar.
Very similar. They're both similar to 40k. Look. So this game is just over.
It's done at this point. They're just kind of playing for the fact that they have time, and it's a fun game. That's really, like, the game itself is fun. I don't mean that this particular, but Warhammer in general is fun. So they're playing it out because they get to roll dice.
Yeah, Captain Andrews in the chat asking, is this right? Why Rob doesn't have sponsors? I mean, there are several reasons, mainly because we don't want any. We're completely crowdfunded, which is nice.
Yeah, that's excellent.
We're a crowdfunded experiment.
I also don't have any sponsors.
On the 40kstats.com?
Or in general. Like, nobody sponsors me to just walk around.
Oh, nice. I like that. I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect that. There's no
you can't control me.
Yeah, we are. You've got the stream team. Tomorrow, you're going to see 3 games of very hyper-competitive ITC 40k with 2 commentators who are beholden to no one.
No one, except my mom.
What will get said? And our table boss is not even
listening.
Beholden to us.
No, our table boss is a fucker. He just keeps coming in here and telling us lies. and then coming back and be like, no, I said it wrong. You shut up. And then he hits me.
Wow, Max is furious at this point.
He's just such a violent individual. Luckily for me, I'm fat and don't care anymore. I'm old. I'll be dying soon anyway. What have I got to lose?
Nothing. None of us got anything to lose.
You hit
so
it.
we're going to have a solid day of Warhammer. Val Heffelfinger is going to interview, I think, the same guy he always.
The one he always wants to interview.
We're going to do something. We're going to do something pretty bold here. This is a mixture of long-range microphones and long-range cameras.
I don't know if either of these things are possible, but
it is possible. We're just going to wait to see if it is. Val's going to have to hold on until Jon's ready to turn the camera.
Apparently we can't. Val is actually looking. He's trying to find somebody to talk to. No one wants to talk to him.
It's just a lonely.
Literally, he's just walking up to people and they're
Which
shoving
is funny
him away.
because John's trying to follow him with a camera.
Sure, get the people's champion if he's willing to talk.
You can change the movement of it, but get ready for some. This is the first time you get. Oh, he's just walked someone over now.
He just grabbed a person, literally just yanked them away from their table.
Yeah, unfortunately, you guys aren't going to see what we thought.
No.
You're going to see, but you are going to see Val talk to a lovely man.
Nathan again, the Dreadnought King.
Not again. You
Again?
lucky, yeah.
He's the Dreadnought King. We always knew to speak. He's the people's champion. We need to hear what he has to say. No, I don't believe he's 3-0.
With Dreadnoughts.
I think he's 2-1, maybe.
So
1-1.
get ready to talk to a man who's 3-0 with Dreadnoughts.
You're lying.
Yeah, that's the expectation you need to have going into this conversation.
He could have been 3-0 if he'd won all 3 games.
Yeah, if he'd been better.
Let's cut it to Val.
Here's the Val. Let's go.
How you doing, everybody? Joined here by People's Champion Nathan Krylicki. Before we get into how the rest of your day has gone, we were talking earlier. You've got 10 dreadnoughts, 9 maybe.
10,
I said 9 before.
9 now.
Maybe he's got an extra one.
Who knows?
You need that edge, don't you?
I change it every game, so.
You got a really nice fanny pack.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It started off as a joke.
Yeah.
And then it became necessity.
Nothing funny about a fanny pack.
Not at all.
So very quickly, how'd the rest of the day go?
Well, having 3 42-point wins in a row really helped out. So I've never really felt that way about anything before, because that's like, I'm not good at math. That's like 126 points or something. Like,
Unbelievable. Virtually impossible.
Yeah, virtually impossible. But, I mean, sometimes you just get lucky, and your opponents, they see you roll up with all your dreadnoughts, and they just concede turn 1. What can you do?
They just throw those palms up, you know?
Yeah, actually, no, I got my butt kicked in my last game, so it happens.
It does happen with the Raven Guard Dreadnoughts. Well, you see me, you got your head up. Yeah. You're still here. You didn't just leave.
No, because cowards leave. So.
Or, people sensible. They want to get to bed early, that kind of stuff. But not here, not tonight.
Nope.
Habs fan as well. You're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I love to be hurt because I'm also a Chicago Bears fan. So, really, it's just no winning.
Hey, for all of our American friends, Trubinsky, pretty good, though.
I'm just, okay. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean.
He was a hot prospect.
Yeah. It's all right.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, sorry.
I guess Cleveland's the hotness now. We're talking about football.
Sorry.
That's really off topic.
Yeah, we have probably not a lot in common with a lot of people here if we're talking about football, so.
You'd be surprised. A lot of football nerds out there.
It's true.
Okay, well, Rob looks like he's paying real close attention, so I'm just going to throw it right over to him where he can do stuff.
Bye.
I appreciate that, Val. Val, in some way, thinks that's going to affect me, but I've actually worked for Games Workshop for 2 years, so incompetence and stupidity are something I am used to on a minute-by-minute basis that in no way scares me. And I'm just sat here on my own. I riff like you wouldn't even believe. In fact, Max Dubois is going to join us, our table boss, and tell us his experiences. Max, you helped do the table bossing this weekend. First time helping with the Honest Wargamer. How's it gone for you?
It's pretty good. Pretty good. People barely made fun of my French accent, so that's all
You
I
have
can
an
hope
accent?
for. I've been told.
There's no way you have an accent.
It is the French charm, I believe, what they call it.
Yeah. So what happened on the tabletop there? What's going on right now?
This game was quite interesting, actually. Well, first of all, Dom, like your butt, refuses to quit.
Good.
So he's playing through. Basically, the first couple of turns, Dom was really unlucky, and then John was insanely lucky. And then that bad luck continued till turn 4. And then when Dom started rolling statistics, it was over. It was way too late.
Okay. And what was the good luck moments that you had?
The what? I'm sorry.
What were the good luck moments that John had?
Well,
saves.
First of all, the first night, like charging 2 Smash Captains into a night and then not killing it, and then spending all your command points to achieve that. Well, that you're not supposed. Like he got low on damage and then high on saves, paired into that one key moment, and then failing an entire shooting phase. Like 4 tanks should kill a night. They barely did. So that's a lot of that's a lot of bad luck in the key turns of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you saw that carry through. If he'd just taken out where we talked earlier, the Falc, and we did say if he had carried that through and actually deleted one of those knights, that would have been.
Well, you need to kill the first knight because on the first few turns, if a knight is alive, you could just spend one command point and then you get your full profile. So it's like it was down to 2 wounds. The warlord guy on the first turn. Well, down to 2 wounds with 1 command point means it's like brand new knight shooting at you, coming at you. Yeah, he's easier to kill next turn, but he's still there, and he has like a whole lot of firepower. And then, I think we just saw the handshake there.
We did just see that, a handshake. Le handshake, is that correct?
Oh, le handshake, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Le handshake. It's a sportsmanship move.
I didn't know that carried through even into other languages, le handshake.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great.
Then, yeah, Dom basically, I think, to give you guys a show, Dom played through because on turn 4 it was easy to call the game over and just say,
Oh, well,
you know
what a gentleman. What a gentleman.
And,
everyone on the so you've done table bossing for everyone on the stream today. Everyone's been a gentleman, right?
Oh yeah, everybody's real nice about it. Everybody's real happy to be on the stream and behaving their best self. I think tomorrow will be the real test because now we've picked games that we wanted, but tomorrow is the real hardcore, folks.
Oh, you excited to table boss the hardcore guys?
No. actually, yeah, the hardcore guys are fun, but I have to make sure that you say the correct information, which is the hard part.
That is the hard part. The table boss is the unsung hero of stream commentary.
Yeah, because I know the real thing. Then I hear you say random stuff, and I go, wait, that's not
Excuse
okay.
me, my job is entertainment. Yeah.
Oh, I'm entertained. Let me tell you. Am I informed? Probably not. Am I entertained? Hells yeah.
Good. All right. Well, Max, it's been lovely talking to you. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you more tomorrow.
Oh, I will talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
All day in your ear, son. All right, fine folks of the internet, I will leave you to the pigeon and the Rob.
We'll see you soon. Thank you. Welcome back, the macaw of 40k.
The macaw 40k, am I? Yes. Kaka. Thank you very much. How's everything going?
The game has been called, and I want to say a massive thank you to Dom and John for playing the game. There's another handshake. A pair of absolute heroes.
A pair of absolute gentlemen. You're correct. The heroes of our nation. What we actually deserved. It looks like we also have Val Heffelfinger wandering over. I don't know if he actually has anything that important to say.
He has a microphone.
He's looking for a microphone. It's unfortunate that Max of the Dubois family doesn't know where to put it.
So
when he's done with it, but
the Dubois dynasty. But you're going to interview both Dom and John and find out how they felt about the games.
Excellent. I'm glad. I want to hear it. Like we said earlier, the game early looked like it could be anybody's, and then it went downhill fast.
So here's Val Heffelfinger with an interview right now.
Kaka.
Wow. I am joined here by the victor of our stream. Why don't you introduce yourself for our viewing audience?
Jonathan Mitchner.
Excellent. I'm told that you won a game of Warhammer 40,000 today. How's it feel?
I won 2 games, actually, but recently just one. Feels pretty good.
So I haven't actually been able to participate in the watching. I have been doing. These guys just sit around, talk about Warhammer. I got to go look around at stuff. I'm sweating. It's tough. For me, it's hard.
Yeah, you have the harder job.
I get it. I appreciate it. So coming into this matchup, this is what I like to ask people. What are your first thoughts looking at his list?
It's a scary list for sure. He's got 3 tanks and a tank commander, all made to kill knights, and then 2 smash captains. It's a scary list. I didn't expect to do as well as I did. My dice were very hot. His were very not hot. He charged 2 smash captains into a gallant turn 1. Didn't kill it.
Well, as Dave Chappelle once said, hot hand in a dice game, baby. Do you think this terrain setup kind of maybe helped you a little bit? A lot of tall line of sight blocking, but maybe not night tall.
Yeah, it actually helped him more than anything because he was able to hide his tank command, like his tanks before at the start of the game. I wasn't going to be able to see anything, so it helped him quite a bit, but just not enough to counteract the dice. Yeah,
Well, that's unfortunate.
it is, but
It is what it is. Fickle are those dice gods. As fickle as a falcon, if you will. Any concluding thoughts? What are you calling yourself? So you got what, 2-1 right now?
2-1. Yeah.
What are you going to be at the end of the day tomorrow?
End of the day tomorrow, I'd be very happy with 4-2. Yeah, 4-2 would be great.
Goes with a cautious call, 4-2. 4-2. Not bad. Not greedy. That's great. Okay, well, I can see a lot of frowny faces in the booth. I'm going to probably kick it back over to those guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Cheers. Actually, before I do that, I assume they're probably just going to pack up and get out of here because they hate their lives and what they're doing right now, and they would rather go home. So, is that not true? Oh, no. I was thinking about the dishonest Wargamer. These guys love this. Anyway, I probably won't have a chance to update you guys, I assume. So tomorrow before the stream kicks off, I'll bring everyone up to date on everything that is happening out there. Everywhere the light touches, I'll tell you about. Back to the booth.
Great. He has done great.
He's fucking champion.
All day he has done wonderful. John, can you just bring me that shot of the army, please? You can see. Yeah, Val's done wonderful, so I hope you guys have enjoyed that. And I want to say a massive thank you to him and you, Falcon.
Oh, thank you very much.
Because both of you just really helped just make this as good as it can be. So big love. I thought before we finished, I just thought I'd show you just how good that army was that was playing on the tabletop, because that's just crazy pretty.
I wish we could get a close-up on one of the company commanders, because he made some custom ones.
Pick a company commander and we'll go do that.
Let's see if I can even see them, because everything is so blurry to me right now. Getting so sleepy.
Well, there's
this guy right here. So he's I believe that's the.
Oh, sorry.
I believe he's using this guy, who's an Inquisitor from the Blackstone Fortress. He's one of his company commanders, and look just how gorgeous that guy looks. If we can get.
Oh, sorry, I'm a bit. Oh no, I'm far too
tipsy.
I'm far too excitable with that.
Just so well put together, so well painted. Look at the detail on that guy.
He just looks so sweet, and then the whole army. Just make sure I don't move it around too fast. Otherwise, I'm just going to cause everyone a little bit of issues. But the whole army is just crazy pretty, and the fact that he was playing a pretty solid game of Warhammer is just a testament to
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this is what the event's about, really. Like good hobby, good sportsmanship.
Yeah. So just so you guys, these are all custom done guard.
Sorry. Yeah, all custom. I think that they've started with solar auxiliary bodies.
Exactly. Yeah, and then worked out from there.
I'm a big fan of that. That's what I actually use for my guardsmen as
yeah.
well.
No, they're gorgeous models.
Yeah, it's so pretty. And then everything's converted. Those tanks are insane. And then the Death Watch just look outrageously good. It's just wicked. Just a fantastic army. And then on the display board, which is really what I wanted to show you, I mean, in detail, you'll probably spend all day on it. But is it a train? I think it might be a train that's just rocking forward.
Yeah.
It just looks great.
Everything about it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
There are a lot of really gorgeous. The hobby side of this is pretty fantastic here, guys. There's a couple Zine Charmies here that blew me away walking by.
Really?
Them. Oh, there's one that he's got like an entire Zine Charmy in a forest. And the forest, wow. Cannot even tell you how amazing it looks.
Okay, well,
anyway.
That's exciting. Okay, yeah, well, that's it. That's all that we're going to have time for. You can come back to us if you want. That's all we're going to have time for today. I want to say a massive thank you to you, Falcon. You've done amazing today.
Oh, well, you know what? I couldn't have done it without you. I couldn't have done it without Scribbo. Despite all my comments about his mom jeans, he's the best producer that we have, the only producer we have.
I mean, the best of one.
The best of one.
But it's still
he
a good
is the
one.
Highlander. He did have to kill all the other ones in order to take this position, so there is that.
He has absorbed them.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That's not any joke. That's just, like a kind of like
some kind of gelatinous
Highlander.
ooze.
You've got like more powerful like Highlander.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what
The quickening. Yeah. There was lightning. It was pretty scary.
Right. So today's been a fun day.
Today has been an excellent day.
Today's
super
been a fun day.
day.
I am really excited about tomorrow. Tomorrow's where we get into the mix. That's right. We're going to see who's going to win it. Now, I know you're excited about this. I know Val is as well. We've got some pretty major players for people in the ITC who potentially can, they're ranked very highly.
Yes.
They're considered very good. Yeah?
Yes. Oh, for sure. I mean, we've the potential here for Jim Vessel, Steve Pampreen, Joshua Death.
So now we're going to see them on the stream.
Potentially. We know that Scary won his game. He's a great guy to have on stream. Excellent player. Top 20 ITC, I believe, right now. So lots of excellent play we're going to see tomorrow. We're going to get you all the top games. Anybody that's undefeated has a chance to be on this top table tomorrow, but we're now going to be hitting that cream of the crop.
Okay,
for
so
sure.
so make sure you join us for that tomorrow. Same time, you'll be able to find all the information out on any of our social media pages. So make sure you do that. Also, you'll be able to find out the list on the 40kstats.com website.
Yep.
So make sure you go on there. If you just type 40k stats.com/CCBB.
You'll see the top table list, or the list that we're going to be streaming that day, yes.
Exactly. I just want to say a massive thank you to Max, John, I've sorted that. I want to say to you and also to Val, also to everyone who's watched the stream and done any of the work. You guys are great. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, let us know in the comments, share it, leave us some messages, whatever you want to do. Thank you to everyone on the Honest Wargamers Patreon and Twitch has helped us do this, and also the CanHammer guys for hosting CCBB.
Yeah, it's been an excellent ride. See you guys tomorrow.
Have a great day. See you soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.